I've been walking with my face turned to the sun, weight on my shoulders, a bullet in my gun. Oh, I got eyes in the back of my head, just in case I have to run. I do what I can when I can, while I can for my people. While the clouds roll back and the stars fill the night, that's when I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. And you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer. Gonna keep on keeping on. I can feel it in my bones. Early in the morning, before the sun begins to shine, we're gonna start moving towards that separating line. I'm wading through muddy water. You know I got a made up mind, and I don't mind if I lose any blood on the way to salvation. And I'll fight with the strength that I got until I die. So I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. Can you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gotta keep on keeping on. And I know what's around the bend might be hard to face, 'cause I am alone, and I just might fail, but Lord knows I'll try. Sure as stars fill up the sky. Stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. Can you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on. I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. Do you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on. I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. I hear freedom calling, calling me to answer. Gonna keep on keeping on. I can feel it in my bones. I go to prepare a place for you. I go to prepare a place for you. I go to prepare a place for you. I go to prepare a place for you.
Powerful message, huh? Hey everybody, how y'all doing tonight? Cheryl, Dylan, Kissa, Pat, Sherry, good to see you. Benjamin, Al, Eric, Kim, goodness, Mark Wildman, good to see you. White Light, Terry, Pam, Echo. Well, y'all been talking a minute. It's good to see y'all and see you saying hello to each other. Awesome. Mary, good to see you. Chessboard. Climate change was just proven to be a lie. Cool. It's funny how many things are being proven. Right? It was always a lie. So, let's see. I'll go ahead and share a video with y'all. This is kind of the reason of the song. Oh, well, that's a good one too. Okay, that one can wait. No, this one. Okay. Look, Bonnie, what are you doing? Oh, just wondering what I'm doing. Benjamin. All right, here we go.
Secretary of VA Collins, Doug Collins, last week said that they were not going to recognize our contract. I think particularly within the VA, they see our labor unions as one of the primary obstacles to their agenda, which is to ultimately privatize Veterans Affairs healthcare so that billions of taxpayer dollars can be funneled to for-profit healthcare corporations, like the Optum Group, which is a subsidiary of United Health Group. We got notice almost immediately that we had to vacate our union office. They changed the locks while I was inside the office, and gave us basically 2 days notice, told us to get out, cut off our access to email, to get in touch with our members. The private sector in all 50 states is just not equipped to take care of veterans. There are shortages of psychiatrists, of specialty care providers, of primary care doctors, especially in rural areas where many veterans live. And it's going to be a disaster. The more veterans that are pushed to private sector care, all of that money and resources is coming out of the VA's budget. That means we can't keep up our infrastructure. It means we can't hire enough staff. And what that means for veterans is longer wait times, worse care. My little brother's a Marine Corps vet, a combat vet. My grandfather was a combat vet in World War II in the Army. At the end of his life, the VA took incredible care for him. He had cancer, and he did not have to worry about how he was going to pay for that care. The VA is an incredible system. It's worth saving, and we need to fight like hell to save it.
We stand! Ready. We stand! Rain or shine, we will always stand for our veterans and for our unions. Let's go! Woo!
Can't get back. There we go. You're alone, Wolf. Yep. No visual. Really? Y'all couldn't see it? I'm sorry. Oh goodness, Benjamin. Yeah, we gotta stand for our veterans. Chessboard mess. So hot and dry in North Texas. We finally got a little bit of rain. Not a lot, but I'm not complaining. Texas Capitol grounds are now being evacuated due to an active shooter threat. Democrats protest the new U.S. Great. Crazy stuff happening. Texas is like, I don't know. I'm not used to all this excitement going on in Texas. We're usually pretty calm here, laid back. So, we love our chessboard. So how's everybody doing? Anybody on the East Coast? What life? Is that thing supposed to hit y'all? I know North Carolina's evacuating. Keeping all of y'all in prayer. Eric, I know you're in Florida. They just don't need to get hit again. I am glad you're doing all right, Al. It's good to hear. So, let's see. There was another one. So y'all know Texas is open carry. New permits. Pretty sure that's the law, right? And well, that's that. So I didn't pull it up. Of course I didn't. Nice. Anyway, okay. This is a good story. And this is in Texas too. Good old Dallas. Anthony, good to see you. Frank Sinatra, good to see you. Yeah, Oklahoma too. I think Missouri is also. So I'm going to share this of the latest from Dallas. It's good news. To me, it's good news. They're knocking them down. And that's what we need to see. What just happened? Not screenshot. No. What? Okay. It's just being a brat tonight. I have to click on each one just to share it. Hey, Ricky. Good to see you. This is it. All right.
So why isn't anybody talking about the fact that today in Dallas, Texas, the FBI and police arrested 244 people in a child trafficking ring? You heard what I just said? In Dallas, Texas, they arrested 244 people that were child predators. And the best part about this whole thing is that they found 109 missing children. So apparently this trafficking ring has been going on for a very, very long time. But the FBI and the police are saying that this is only the beginning. They're about to start cracking down on each and every child predator. Now, of course, we know that media tries to keep these things very hush-hush because there's a lot of people involved in these things that they won't like to mention. But children go missing all over this world, all over the United States, and we need answers. And even though they found 109 children, they need to find 109 more. And after that, find 109 more. And they need to arrest more people for these crimes. And now you got to ask yourself, if they were able to find 109 kids that were missing and arrest 244 people that had something to do with this, how many more kids are missing? How many more people need to rape? How many more people need to be arrested? Good job, but we need more answers. Pay attention.
Keep taking it. Sorry about that. Ain't that something? Tulsi pulled 37 security clearances and fired. She's on a roll. I want to see feet dangling, no more lip service. Yeah. Wait, is it a good thing that the government arrested pedos? What happened to no government? Well, I know, Ricky. You want to come up here and present your case? I don't care who's arresting them. As long as they're being found and picked up, they need to, well, I won't tell you what I think needs to be done, but no, we're not letting the pedos go. Al, I think the more you comment, the number goes up, and once you hit a certain number, then you get a little purple crown. The first time I saw it, I said, do I get a burger with this crown? Tell us what needs to be done. What needs to be done is the law needs to allow people to take care of things that they see happening without calling in the feds. Why do I have a black screen? Do I need to come back in? Maybe, are all of y'all seeing what I'm sharing? Is it just Pat? Lady Smith, you got it, and hello. Lou, good to see you. Well, that's not something I want to see, Frank Sinatra, but I've heard it's possible. You see what I'm posting? Okay, Pat, must be you. Just go out and come back in. Sorry, hon. Okay, thank you, Echo. Ricky, we have to have law and order. There has to be law and order. But it's supposed to be our sheriff. It is supposed to be constitutional and do it constitutionally. But a lot of us are seeing that that's not happening. And so that's where I think that okay, I've got a video of that actually. And I'm just gonna drop it in chat. I'm not gonna share it because it's long. And this is a really good channel though. This is another one that teaches Constitution. He's very well. Sorry about that. He's very direct and explains it pretty good. It's called 10th Amendment Center. And here's the link. Hey, John Dunning, good to see you. 10th Amendment Center. There are a lot of channels out there with constitutional, telling you the laws, telling you what a lot of the amendments mean. I know, Ricky. I put the link. Come over here and state your case. You don't know, you stay home. Annalisa, good to see you. A lot of people stay home. There's a lot you can do from home. You can write letters. You can listen to your city council meetings through Zoom. You can, I don't know about the county, if any of their, like the commissioners' meetings, I don't know if those are on Zoom. I'm actually looking forward to speaking to county officials next. See what happens. Ooh, Ricky, put the link. Come and talk to me. When someone stands up to the lawless, see, but you're grouping everyone together. So that's where I have an issue. All homeless people are not bad people. All homeless people are not on drugs or mentally ill. We can't be grouping people all together like that. We can't say all, what are they saying now? We can't say all white people are supremacists, or we can't say anyone, all patriots are Trump lovers. We can't say different people have different opinions and views and different lives. And okay, I will see you in a bit. I can see you're in a mood. Hello.
I'm not in a mood.
Good. Yes, John, that's the word, stereotyping. Spot on.
Evening, everybody. I hope y'all are doing well.
How are you doing?
Doing pretty good. Pretty good.
Does that storm look like it's getting close to you?
The hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't tracked much of it this afternoon. I think the latest I heard on it is it's starting to make its turn up the East Coast, I believe. So I hope it stays on that path off the coast. But
Yes.
we got another little shower this afternoon, maybe about 30 minutes. It wasn't even enough to wet the ground, really.
That's kind of what ours was.
Yeah, so all that little funk from the Arctic blast finally done pushed out, so it's back to summer weather here in Georgia.
But I'll show you what's all around me, or what was. Kind of crazy. I mean,
It was like when you was describing the other day about how it was raining all around that one spot, but like wherever you were referring to wasn't getting any. That's kind
yeah,
of how it is sometimes here, you know. Sometimes we'll get some good rain, and sometimes it'll be pouring down all around us and not a drop in sight.
yep. That's okay, Ricky. Not in the mood, just stating facts. Bring your facts.
All right, to hell with it. I'm in the mood. Went to go get chicken wings, and they were out of flats.
Yes, I have seen that chessboard. He'd be charming. Be driving up the road and it's sunny and dry on one side, and then you pass through this curtain and it's pouring down rain.
Yeah. It's like that. It's like that here because we got a lot of, well, of course, the main river, then a couple other rivers and lakes and stuff. But sometimes we'll be up at the lake doing some work, and it'll just start pouring down. You know, we'll pack it up and head back into town. As soon as we cross over the river, it's just sunshine.
Oh, wow. Yep. Okay, where'd it go? Show. There it is. It's a pretty cool picture. This lady caught, not right where I'm at, but close. And so, because of this, so far there's 2 structures on fire. Not good. But this is a great shot. It's like,
Oh wow! Look at that.
mm-hmm.
That is a good shot.
The clouds, everything is just like crazy.
Yeah, that is a good photo.
Look how clear it is back there in the back.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a good shot.
Yeah, I had to save it. I was like, okay, that's a good one. So yeah, I guess lightning is striking houses up north. So
Mm.
I keep hearing sirens here. I don't know what's that. That's why I was looking to see. Okay, what's going on? No, I didn't take that. That picture was not me. First of all, when it's lightning like that, you're not going to see me outside because I know how far it travels. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, uh, we needed the rain though. And my mowers just came this morning and mowed. He said that should
Nice.
be it for quite a while. And I'm like, yeah, but then here comes the rain. Maybe not.
Mm.
I know, Mary. I saw a pretty wicked picture of the hurricane also. Um, where did I see that? They had all this red stuff. Of course, the reddest was the eye of it, but it was showing it skimming right up the East Coast. Because they were saying they were evacuating North Carolina.
Yeah. I know a lot of those coastal towns have already been put. I don't know if it's under advisory or what it is, but yeah. Because even if it doesn't make landfall, a lot of those coastal cities will see a lot of rough waters. You know, the beaches and stuff like that will still be real rough.
Yes. Happy birthday tomorrow, Blue.
Happy early birthday.
Hmm.
Hey.
A lot of August birthdays. Right? In a couple hours. Okay, now let me see if I can find what I was looking for a while ago. Gosh, there's so much. They are really going after Trump. Oh, here we go. You know how every so often I gotta show a cop video. And so this is one that he's from Texas, and he was known. He's passed away since this. No, I don't know if he's passed it. I'm sorry. Misinformation. Anyway, this is an Army First Sergeant, and he and his son were just hiking up a road in Texas. And did I save that? Yes. And I'll speed it up so that that's awesome. Ricky, are they criminals? Have they been charged? Have they been Have they had the trial? Okay, cool. Homicide, narcotics, and firearms. Terry, that's great. Okay. Kareem Chapman. It really gets me that it's, I mean, no, not that. Not slowed down. That one. Down. Share. Okay. Go.
Wonderful. Don't be touching it. Don't be touching it. Okay. What are we doing? We're hiking. We're hiking. Yep. Some reason why you have this? Because I can. Well, okay. Oh, hey, no, don't disturb me, man. Hey, all right. Get your hand out. Why are you taking my gun? Get your hand. I'm not touching the gun. All right, I'm putting this on tape. I'm being recorded too. Good. I haven't. Okay. You're trying to disarm me illegally. I am going to disarm you. Illegally? No, sir. Am I threatening you? Once I find out there's no issue, then am I doing something against the law? Be on your way. Am I doing something against the law? Keep your hands away from the gun. I don't have my hand near the gun. Put your other hand away from the gun. I'm holding my camera. Get it away from the gun. It's away from the gun. Okay. Now, you gonna let me go? No, I'm not gonna let you. You're about to get yourself a civil lawsuit. You can get a civil lawsuit or whatever we need to do right now until I find out you can legally have the gun. And you can be out here. Do I need a license to hold this gun? No, dude, I'm telling you right now, we're having this. Chris, wait, I'll tell you what. Let me give my camera to my son, and I will do everything you ask. Put your hand behind your back. Chris, come here and get my camera. Chris, come here and get my camera. I'm taking my camera off. I'm not touching my gun. Okay, let go of the camera for a second. I'm tired. There you go. Now I want you to record this. Is it recording? Let me see the back. Let me see the back side. Put your hand behind your back. Okay, now I'm going to do everything you say. Hey, dude. There. Hands are behind my back. No, Chris, keep the camera on me. Can I ask you what I was doing wrong? Until I can find out you can legally have a gun. So you can just stop anybody in the world for rudely displaying, yeah. Oh, how am I rudely displaying a gun? I'm walking. Just unhook it right there. Keep the camera on me. Yes. Can you guys get a supervisor out here? Yes, a sergeant. Good. Make sure it's on me. Who's completely out of control. Sir, is it against the law to carry an open firearm like that? Well, let me answer your question. No, it's not. I've done nothing illegal. But yet this guy decides he wants to throw me against the car when I've done nothing. No, he has no right to disarm me if I'm not breaking the law. No, he does not. No, he doesn't. If he feels threatened, he may disarm me. But I have done nothing to threaten you. Stop, I'm talking to your freaking sergeant right now. It's in my pocket. Which pocket? This one right here. No. Hey, am I accused of crime? I'm not like, I do not consent to you going through my wallet. I do not consent to you going through my wallet. Is this like you got any more guns? Yes, I do. I have a 45 on my side. On my left side. Yes, I have a concealed carry permit. Okay. Sir, you have no right to go through there. I'm telling you right now. Yeah, he didn't ask me for it, did he? Not would you carry this notion. I wouldn't have asked you either. He could have asked me for my concealed carry permit. But even if I did not have a concealed carry permit, I can walk around with a rifle. We go armed people and they call us and we can. Okay, and did you explain to them what the law is, sir? They don't care what the law is. Do you care what the law is? This day and age, they're alarmed when they see somebody with weapons. You have any more weapons on you. We have the right by law to disarm you until. Okay, do you know what that law says? That law says if you feel threatened, you may disarm me. Well, if you feel threatened, you're a sorry excuse for a police officer. Well, then I'm. Me and my son. It's loaded, but it's not chambered. Okay, I don't know that. Hey, I feel threatened because you're carrying a loaded firearm. We're licensed. We're lasting. We're exempt from the law. You ain't exempt from the law. Yes, we are. Well, you guys think you are the law or something? You have to follow. Are you taking my firearm?
Where
Okay, now can we figure out what I did against the law? Why did you stop me?
Because we got a call. You walking around with a firearm.
Okay, and you came out, and was I doing anything threatening, officer?
And I asked you to stop. You continued to walk, and you did stop. And you turned around. I told you I was going to take the gun. As we
Whoa,
no. You started resisting back.
Oh, bullshit. Hey, when you told me to stop, I stopped. You said, come here, and I stopped. You didn't say it on your loudspeaker. If you said it, I didn't hear you. I turned around and I stopped.
And no,
you
didn't do it on loudspeaker.
Exactly. So when I heard you say stop, I stopped. Didn't I? Hey, dude, I got a fucking bad back for my rap. Will you let me stand up straight? Thank you. I'm trying to get my back straight because you're killing me. Yes, this is my son. We're all doing
Display how
what bad excuse you guys are showing for police work?
No, I can back you some back. You can take the gun and secure it?
No. You did not. Hey, listen, I'm not going to sit here and let you lie like this, okay? You did not ask me for my gun. You just started taking it from me, okay? That is not how you disarm a citizen. If you would have said, sir, will you hand me the gun, or sir, will you drop the magazine, I would have done just that. But you wanted to be a freaking prick.
I'm not having to do that with anybody with a firearm. That's dangerous.
Like, just because the guy's got a firearm, he's dangerous.
Yes, sir.
See, that's the problem with the police force today.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is. I'm an Iraq and Afghanistan war
What would you
veteran.
do if you came up to somebody that was armed like that in Iraq?
This isn't Iraq, dude.
It doesn't matter.
We're in Temple, Texas.
People shoot just as quick here as they would anywhere else.
Okay, how many CHL holders shoot like that? 0.18% of CHL holders commit crimes. 0.18%. You never asked to disarm me. You tried to take my weapon from me by force.
I have a right to disarm.
No, you do not.
Yes, it does.
You have a right to disarm me, but you can't take it from me.
Yes,
You can
it's
ask me for my weapon. You can ask me for my weapon, but you
I'm
cannot
not
take it
going to
from
let
me.
you put your hands on it and shoot me.
Who said I was going to shoot
I
you?
don't know you.
I don't know you either. You could be a rogue cop. You guys aren't all saints. Now, can you tell me what I'm being charged with so I can go about my way?
Right now,
My
you're
son and I.
being detained.
Why am I being detained? What crime have I committed? What crime have I committed? Why am I being detained?
Because you were carrying firearms.
That's not illegal. In the state of Texas, it's not illegal. Now, why am I being detained? Okay, but that's not against the law. What law have I broken?
We have the right to come to this.
Okay, I got you.
Until we're done, we have the right to take your firearm off. We can make sure it's safe. We're safe. Everybody else is safe.
Okay, and you just found out that I haven't broken any laws, right?
We don't know what you can do with all
I
this.
just told you I am doing a 10-mile hike for my son's Eagle Scout project.
I wasn't here. I didn't hear that.
I just told
You
you.
didn't tell me. You
You
just
didn't
Okay,
say
there
anything about a scalp.
You know, it's funny. You didn't ask me a single
No, I didn't
question.
ask you about where you were going.
The whole time you've been here, you have not asked me a single question. All you've done is just brute force. You guys should have brown shirts on.
I think he said Temple, Texas.
Support the police department. I come here and I get this kind of treatment. That guy was
He
completely
looked
out
back
of
and see my car and keep walking. I stopped to get out of the car. I had to pick up my
completely out of line.
As soon as I start to approach him, he starts to reach up and I'm going to take the gun off him.
And it could have been a lot worse because he was illegally handling it.
At that point, he just starts
And I had every right to defend myself
moving and
if I wasn't doing anything wrong. But I'm a law-abiding citizen.
through and forced him down the car. And basically hold him there till y'all got here because I knew you were coming.
He's lying.
And he's not. He can't put his head behind his back. If you put his head behind his back, he's trying to get his camera phone out and record it.
That's not what I like. You're not arrested. Wait. I can't help it. You can look into it, but it's not against the law. Okay, but why am I being detained? And nothing. You don't say like, why now? Why am I now?
I look, I see.
It's so windy,
It's viewable
making noise.
in the map.
I'll still find Chris, you ever asked me
They just keep doing a lot of talking.
I'd like to be in front of your camera.
You're under arrest. You're going to jail.
What am I under arrest for? What am I under arrest for? I did not resist, sir. Yeah, call mom. When did I resist, sir? You guys have gotten everything off of me. You said, where's your weapon? I showed you my weapon. Where's your ID? I showed you my ID. You guys have to resist something because you're embarrassing. Screwed up with a law-abiding citizen. Because your officer manhandled me for no reason. And you guys got to come up with some sort of charge. I didn't resist an officer. April, Mom?
What?
Yeah, you don't have to. Whatever you want me to do, I'll take it off. You don't have
About your phone. You're on your phone.
No, I'm on my phone.
You got a wallet, Bob? Yeah. You got a wallet? Okay.
And how long are you keeping me in jail for? Wait. Where's my son going? Where's my son going? Hey, wait. I need to talk to my son real quick. Hang on. No, don't stop yet. I need to talk to my son real quick.
What's up? Yeah.
I need to talk to my son real quick. Chris, have Mom call Brett Pritchard, lawyer. Let him know what's going on. Okay? He's going to take you home, all right? So when Mom gets home, don't worry about me. It's fine. When you get home, tell Mom to call Brett Pritchard, okay? Because we're going to file a lawsuit. All right? Don't worry about it. He's going to take you home, okay? These guys aren't bad guys unless they get embarrassed. You can turn it off now. Hey, Chris, don't answer any questions. Just go home. You don't have to tell him anything. Okay.
Man, those public servants are idiots.
Yep. I know he did file a lawsuit. I'm not sure of the outcome. One of my friends sent me that.
Yeah.
Here he
Hopefully he
is.
wins his case.
You see where he's walking. They're out in the country walking. We have rattlers. We have copperheads. We have coyotes. We have rabbit animals. We have you kind of want to carry something to protect yourself from those things if you're out hiking.
Oh, no doubt.
But that seems to be, yes, 12 years ago probably. And, but this keeps happening. There was another one, what was his name? Snafu Radio. They pulled him over for, I can't remember what it was, tags. And he had his new, I'm pretty sure it was tags, had his new tags in the car. He just didn't swap them out on the windshield. They pulled him over for that because he wouldn't exit his car. They busted his window. You know, it's like, so my concern is these laws giving police even more power.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous.
And you heard them say they're above the law.
Oh, yeah. They don't care. They'll make something up. They'll make something up to fit their narrative, you know?
Yep.
I felt threatened. Well, if you felt threatened, then you're in the wrong profession. Most times in life, if I ever felt threatened, I try to avoid that situation. If you felt threatened, then why did you come approach me head on, you know? Obviously, I'm not that threatening if you approached me.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. Those guys in that video are idiots. And one of them was supposed to have been the sergeant or the,
Yeah, the supervisor.
supervisor. Yeah. I don't know all the different police ranks. Um, but yeah,
Well, and that's a lot of them that I see get pulled over. They will ask for a supervisor, especially if it's unlawful like that was. And me personally, I'm gonna be calling my sheriff or tell them get me the sheriff. They shut down your feed. I didn't do it, Wayne. I don't know, but um, yeah, I can't remember where Temple is. It's
hey, remind me if I ever visit Texas not to go to Temple. I've heard of Temple though. I think they've got a university or something there. The Temple Owls.
yes, I think
I've,
they do.
I've, I've heard of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, remind me to stay out of Temple.
Yes, Al, that is correct. So, how is this happening?
Just complacency, consent.
And that's why we were doing. Um, well, we have a Temple, Texas too, Doc P. Um, that's why we were doing the Constitution last night because it's so y'all will know the laws, know your rights, know that. Um, and I know there's a lot of people here that really like Trump, but I'm concerned about the power that he believes he has.
Yeah.
Um,
And even if something like this even was that video you played, even if it was from 12 years ago, I mean, it's still as relevant now more than ever. Than you want to give these type of individuals more power. It's just insane.
yes. Demons are
Yeah.
in control. Yeah.
Mm.
People
Yeah,
are
there was
coming.
I gotta try to go back in my notes and try to find it sometime. Maybe I'll try to find it for you next Monday if when you do your that's Constitution Monday. But it was one of those big auditor channels. They came. I didn't even know that they came down, but they did a follow up to a story that happened one county over from me. I don't know all the specifics right now. I just saw it the other day, but I have to go back and find it and send it to you.
So, what do you think about the auditors?
Um, I mean, just like I think they have. We have the right to freedom of speech. Uh,
Yes.
I know I've seen some that can be maybe a little aggressive. They try to match the energy that they may be getting, or they come in a little hot. Uh, but I've seen a lot that's just calm, cool, collected. They know the rights. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean they won't get arrested or get put in cuffs or some charge or whatever. But there are some that I watch. Uh,
Yeah, I
but
do
I mean,
too.
I believe they have the right to do so. I mean, they're not harming anybody. They're not getting in anybody's face or being disrespectful.
Hey,
But people just seem to get so offended by cameras,
hey,
and
Sean.
I'm thinking, man, like in a lot of these videos, people get offended by the cameras, but from the moment you leave your home, even inside your home nowadays, you're being tracked and monitored by everything. You got a
Yes.
phone in your pocket, you got a wearable on your wrist, you got the Google glasses on your eyes, your car is being tracked every spotlight, speed light, stop sign between here and your job's watching you. But yet, if somebody pulls out a phone, people just lose their minds. Not everybody, but some, you know.
Yes. And is an auditor the same as a citizen journalist? Is it?
You could, I mean, it could be, you know, you're just doing research, you know, you're gathering content. Uh,
Okay.
and it's, I don't know all the regulations or whatnot, but it's just like when we're in public, there's not really you can't really expect privacy in public. You know, when you're out in the public, you know, how can you say that I can't record, but my eyes can see it? You know,
Right.
in a way, I'm not going above and beyond. I'm not climbing over this fence to see what you're doing, but if I can see it, you know, it's in the public domain in a way.
I
Especially
think,
if you're working, especially if you're a public official, you're already in the public capacity. You're in that capacity, so I mean, you already opened yourself up for that. You know.
right. If they see you recording, it's okay. Or if they don't see you recording, you tell them you're recording.
Oh
I
yeah.
think that's the way it goes. Yes, Ricky.
My mic working.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Evening.
Mic working. Oh, oh shit! I lost my mic.
Yeah. Where's your mic? Well, I remember when everyone was so happy about auditors with the election when they were going around Arizona questioning people, and they were happy to answer. And so I'm just wondering what's changed. Is there different types of auditors? I think Ricky will know the answer to these questions.
Can y'all hear me?
Right, Lady Smith?
Check 1 2. Check.
I think Ricky's
And
having problems.
then it's one of the funny things in some of these auditor videos I see. It'll be whoever the auditor is, man or woman. You know, they'll just be walking around and recording, and then sure enough, here comes this person just right in front of their camera. Hey, I don't want you to record me. Don't record me. And then they were like, well, if you didn't want to be recorded, why did you come get in front of my camera? You know, I wasn't even acknowledging you. It's
Yes.
just, that's the weirdest thing, you know. Hey, don't record me while you're walking right in front of my camera, you know.
Right. So, this other one, where
Check.
do I have it pulled up? No. This one is completely the opposite, and I don't know what happened here, but
Evening, everybody.
I gotta play this one too. Just have to, because it goes a whole different direction. It's the counter to the other one that upset y'all.
It's good to have a video to play, you know, a counter to something, you know.
Yes. See both sides.
Yeah.
To, like I keep saying, there's good people and there's bad people. And that's where the discernment comes in, I think, and figuring out who's who.
Yeah, titles don't make people. People can make the title, you know.
Yes.
Just because have a title doesn't mean, you know, you're above someone. I mean, you as a person have to prove prove that title or whatever it is that you're claiming.
Hey, Prepper 101. Good to see you.
Evening.
Okay, here we go.
Is about to choke, and the only one who can save him is the detainee.
Are you straight, bro?
A routine arrest until something unexpected happens.
You want to give me the keys? Give me the keys, man. I'm gonna help. Help me, man. Give me the keys. I'm gonna help you, bro.
The officer is in trouble.
Come on, I got you, bud.
He can't breathe. The detainee quickly realizes what's going on. Handcuffed and helpless, he offers to help. But first, he needs to be freed. And getting free while handcuffed isn't exactly easy.
I need you up. I need you up now. Hey, I need you up.
Now it's all up to him.
You up, bro. Oh, man, get up. I need you standing so I can help you, bro.
The officer is struggling, barely able to get any air.
I need you standing now.
The tension is unbearable. The detainee has only seconds to save the officer. It looks like nothing is working. But the guy isn't giving up.
All right. I got you, man. One more time. Come on. I need you standing now.
The officer has been choking for several minutes.
Stay up with me now.
And the situation keeps getting worse.
Stay up with me now. One more time. Come on. One more time. I got you.
He did it. The officer is safe, thanks to him.
You good, bud? Here, go ahead. Take me in.
An unexpected
Go ahead.
hero.
Russ.
What would you have done in his situation? This officer is about to choke.
He's all no. After that, you can go. Saved his life. Hey, Magic. Good to see you. Carolina.
Check.
Sorta.
Mike.
Yes.
Check.
Yep, that sounds good, I think.
Too loud.
No, not at all.
Too soft.
Are you with us?
So I'm here. I'm having a few issues with my mic. I switched mics out. Trying something different.
Cool. Hey, Donna.
Hey, Striker, Carolina, Magic, all you fine people in chat. So I'm not sure if you want me up here to discuss what's happening in DC.
Because we had that discussion. We had that discussion the other night backstage, and I can kind of see your point, but I don't know. I see your point about the federal government getting involved in doing something that that the local government won't do. Here's a big.
Are we supposed to have military come against the American people constitutionally? Hey, Lily.
Video for you. Play this.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
I dropped a video for you to play. It's on, well, just play the video and then we'll discuss whether or not the federal government should intervene.
Okay, fine. I see what you're doing. And I get that. But no, I still do not feel the federal government should intervene. But I will play this.
It's a normal afternoon on the doorstep of San Francisco's main government building, a snapshot of America's fentanyl crisis. It doesn't just look stark. An average of one person every 10 hours dies in this city of a fentanyl overdose. It's often here in the drug-ravaged Tenderloin district. Are you a fentanyl user?
Absolutely. I've been an opiate addict for probably 10 years.
Trevor used to inject heroin, but fentanyl, he says, is a different beast, and he wants everyone to know.
I mean, the fact that this isn't a main issue, I mean, on TV every night is insane to us. I've never seen anything like it. I'll meet regular people, square Joes, on their way to work, and they'll stop, hang out with me, try this drug for the first time, and then leave their life. Literally, not leave. From that moment on, they're just out here with us.
Is that what fentanyl does?
To some people, it's insane. I've never seen anything like it. No one has.
What's it doing to the streets?
Man, I mean, it's turning everybody into, you know, a crazy, violent drug addict.
We're doing an interview. I know, but do that somewhere else. Y'all smoking crack right here, and there's a daycare right there.
We're interrupted by private security, asking them to move out of the view of a nursery. This is a city divided on how to deal with the scourge of drugs. Some want the streets swept. Others prefer a more compassionate, health-based approach.
No one wants to end up with a manslaughter charge because someone dies from their product.
Jeff is a former drug dealer and says testing is the answer.
2 stripes would be a negative result. One stripe would be a positive result. Yep. So there's that second line showing up right now.
Simple strip tests are now being used by dealers and users to check for fentanyl. It sometimes contaminates other drug supplies like cocaine. I know you work with one of the largest Mexican street gangs, helping test their cocaine to make sure it doesn't have fentanyl in it or traces of fentanyl in it. How does that work?
If customers start to notice that people are dying from a batch of cocaine and that the autopsy results are showing that it's because of an opioid overdose, no one's buying that cocaine anymore. I mean, it just doesn't make financial sense to kill your customer base.
Across town, beside a homeless encampment, a charity has set up. They hand out clean syringes and overdose reversal treatments. How has fentanyl transformed your home?
People are dying. A lot more people are dying. And it's in a lot of the drug supply, and people are doing it without knowing they're doing it. And it's made substance use horrifyingly deadly.
It's difficult to believe at times that this is one of America's great historic cities, home to more billionaires than anywhere on earth. This is 2 streets from the headquarters of Twitter, but it's an open-air drug market. It is a tragedy with no easy resolution.
I'm hoping my mic is working.
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, cool. So we should not have any government intervention in any of that. We should just let it happen. Is that correct?
I didn't say just let it happen. What I'm saying is a criminal is going to be a criminal no matter what you do. You can take their guns, you can do whatever, but how is the government stepping in going to stop fentanyl? Fentanyl has been coming over the border. This has been a problem for years, and I do not see that the government is taking care of it.
Okay,
You can't expect the people that cause the problem to fix the problem. That's ridiculous.
Thank you.
So our federal government just put sanctions on Canada for the fentanyl that's coming over to the U.S. Also, the feds say that more than 6 kilos of fentanyl, some disguised, let's see, let me read this. Some disguised as oxycodone seized along with guns, meth, and cocaine. So you're saying the feds shouldn't do that? The feds should not intervene, right? Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. They have their
All
border
right.
patrol at the borders. Are the border patrol not doing their jobs?
Apparently not if it's coming through the Canadian border. And Trump has to put tariffs on Canada to stop it. Apparently it's getting in here somehow. I mean, 6 kilos of fentanyl is a lot of fentanyl.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so the Democratic run city of Washington, D.C., and I've got statistics on that, on this. Let's see. Let me look down here. Okay, so the statistics as far as what D.C. is reporting is lower than what is actually happening. So the mayor of Washington, D.C. is doing nothing. The prosecutors of Washington, D.C. are doing nothing. And Trump said, I've had enough. I've had enough. This is our capital. This represents our United States of America. You guys are letting this happen. And he's going to put a stop to it. Is that bad? Or should we just let it happen?
Okay, I have some questions.
Sure.
DC is a separate entity than the United States, correct?
DC's 10 square miles that were established in 1871 through the Virginia Company. You are correct.
Okay.
Washington, D.C. is where the corporation operates out of.
Okay. So then, whose National Guard is he using? Because if they're not a state, they do not have their own National Guard. Correct?
I have to differ. They have to have National Guard. He actually called out the National Guard during January 6th, and Pelosi said no. So yes, there is a National Guard within Washington, D.C.
Okay, because I just remember National Guard from all the states having to go up there for something during Biden when they were sleeping in the garages and Jill was taking them cookies. So as long as it's contained in DC, I get it. But
you're saying it was bad for him to do it. That it was an overreach for him to take control of Washington D.C.
Yes, because he is the
because
president.
of and you're saying that rounding up the homeless and sorting them out is wrong.
No, definitely.
And I'm saying that that is the police department's job.
But they're not doing anything.
Well, because they're told not to. That's on the mayor, the city that's running DC.
That's my point.
Then she needs to be out, or whoever it is. I think it's a woman. I'm not sure.
It is a woman, and she isn't doing anything, and it's out of control. Let's see. Didn't I just read? Didn't I put this in chat? Let me scroll up here, and I'll read this again.
Final countdown.
There have been 465 arrests in Washington, D.C. since August 7th in connection with President Trump's federal crime crackdown. This includes 52 arrests made on Monday night. These arrests cover a range of charges including homicide, narcotics, and firearms. And the firearms is what the younger children are using to carjack people. And I mean, you couldn't go down the street in Washington, D.C. to a restaurant. People were scared. Is that okay?
And I just saw a gentleman that has lived in DC all of his life, and he's in his 60s or 70s, saying it's not as bad as what they're presenting.
And that was a Democrat. I saw the same thing. That was a Democrat downplaying what Trump is doing.
Okay.
So you have to do your own research. You have to look into the situation.
I think a lifelong resident of DC would be a pretty good place to start, you know. It doesn't matter if they're Democrat or Republican, if they've lived there and seen it their whole life, you know.
Yeah, but are they lying?
We see these 5 little or 30-second clips and try to rewrite history and think that that's all that there is. No, that's not. You can't paint things with a broad brush like that and expect things to get better. And you can't expect the government that caused the problem to come in and fix the problem that they created. That's insanity. You don't fix problems with the same logic you use to get into that problem.
I have to disagree with you, because if the government has created the problem and they're not going to fix the problem, then who's going to fix the problem? We, the people, certainly aren't doing anything.
So then again, I say you can't fix the problem with the same logic you use to get into that problem.
I disagree.
Well, you can, but I mean, you can't prove it. I mean, you can say an opinion, but I mean, you can't prove something that's factual, you know.
What if I can, though?
Well, you'd be the first person in history to ever solve a problem with the same logic you used to get into that problem.
Doesn't look like I'm going to go anywhere with this. Which is fine. Okay, so let's just let it happen. Let nobody do nothing. Let all the big cities cave in, like Fort Worth, Texas, Dallas, San Antonio. Let the Democrats destroy our country and nobody do anything. Is
But you
that
keep
what
saying
you're saying?
Democrats, Democrats, Democrats. There's more people in this United States than a Democrat. You're focused on Democrats, those
I am.
talking points that you hear on the TV and the news all day. It's not a Democrat. It's not a Republican. It's people. Yes.
No, I'm talking about Democrat-run
You can't
cities.
categorize people and expect people to go along with it just because you say a Democrat. Say a name, say a specific person. You just can't say Democrats are causing the problems.
Okay.
Do you forget there's also a Republican?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I'm not saying the Republicans are doing any better, but the Democratic-run cities, let's see, mayor. Austin. Here we go. Mayor of Austin, Democrat or Republican? Let's just find out. Kirk, the mayor of Austin is elected to a 4-year term. This is 2001. No, I want today.
Well, we're fixing to have election. Wait.
Hello.
Hi, Meat Puppet.
Hello.
What I'll say while he's looking up whatever city government thing or whatever, both sides are only pretending to be against each other, no matter whether they're on the Democrat side, the Republican side, whatever. They're both on the same team against us. Or at least that's how I see it.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because most of them are only interested in maintaining power and enriching themselves. I could be wrong, of course. There might be that odd duck who might actually care and try to do things right, but I think by and large, that is not the case. But I'm gonna go shut this reefer off and crank up my landing gear, so I'm gonna mute myself for a few minutes. I shall return.
Don't idle too long now.
I won't.
I just
The mayor of Austin is elected to a
yes,
4-year
problem
term and
action
limited
solution.
to serving no more than 2 terms. Kirk Watson took office as mayor on January 6, 2023 for the 3rd term and was re-elected to the 4th term in 2024. It's a Democrat. And we could also throw in the prosecutors that were put in place by Soros. And the judges.
Exactly. Everything in DC is corrupt. If you want to go to
How do you say that? You have proof that everything in DC is corrupt?
well,
Do you have proof that only the Democrats are corrupt? It could go both ways on
I
this.
didn't say that. I didn't say that. But the Democrat-run cities are the trash heaps.
okay, I'm in small town Texas. I have seen drug problems here. So how can I say that, okay, we have major drug problems, we need to call in the FBI? No. It's up to the townspeople. It's up to the law enforcement of that town. And I'm talking about the sheriff, not the police, the sheriff. And so when they do find a drug house, for whatever reason, the FBI does step in.
Yeah, but we don't want the FBI to step in.
Yes,
According to you, we don't want the FBI getting involved.
I don't
Or-
want the FBI to step in.
Or the
So
DEA.
when did the drug problem become a federal issue is what I would like to know. I mean,
The drug problem became a federal issue when Trump said, "Look, enough is enough."
no, before that. This has been for years that the FBI come in. It's not just recent. It's not just since Trump said that.
Okay, it's been forever. I mean, if you look at it with President Clinton, come to find out, they were shipping in drugs to Mena, Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
And whether he's a Democrat or Republican, it's still wrong. And somebody said in chat that everything is corrupt in DC. Well, I can't agree with that because they're making changes with the new administration, with the new head of FBI and all the others. They're making changes. There's indictments being made. So I can't say that everything in Washington, D.C. is corrupt. Because actually there are people out there starting to do things. Finally. Look at your blue cities. Look at your blue states like Colorado. They've got it is out of control in Denver, Colorado Springs, and Pueblo. Pueblo is the second worst city as far as crime is concerned. Well, the people aren't doing anything. They're allowing it to happen. Do we need the federal government to come in to change it? No, I don't think so. I think the people need to stand up.
Well, there you go. And so, didn't Washington make every drug legal? All drugs?
No, absolutely not. If you're in the United States forest and you have weed on you, they will arrest you.
If you're in the what?
If you're in the national forest controlled by the federal government within your county, like if I'm in the national forest within my county and I have weed on me, they will arrest me. Even if weed is legal in my county. Do I need to say that again?
Why is that? Because it's a federal area?
It's a federal law.
I would, that would be my guess. Is it's if you're in a federally controlled area, or it's federal property, so you're breaking federal law, so they'll just arrest you.
Does that make any sense? That it's legal in the state, but not on federal land?
No, it doesn't make any sense at all. At least not to me.
Okay,
anyway.
so that's federal control land. The feds don't actually own it. We, the people, own it, but it's under federal control.
Well,
so that's not okay.
It's not, but the main problem, at least as I see it, is the feds, I'll say allegedly, are the biggest drug dealers of them all.
Absolutely. I agree.
We had cocaine in the White House.
Which time?
We've had cocaine, we've had pedophiles, we've had all kinds of crap.
I mean the PDF files are all over the federal government. I mean, heck, half of them are protecting the idiots over at Roblox with all these adult style games where the pedos are over trying to get the kids. And then there was a couple guys working with Chris Hansen. Yes, that Chris Hansen. Trying to stop him, and one of the guys got his Roblox account banned because they were more concerned about protecting the people trying to go after the kids through certain areas or air fingers quote games on the
Yeah, I heard that about
Roblox
the
server.
Roblox game the kids play.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
I heard that.
certain areas over there where the PDF files like to go, and all kinds of crazy stuff in there, and they're over there protecting based on Roblox actions only so far. Like to, I would say, allegedly protect the pedo people going after the kids.
Yeah, unfortunately, people like that, they're going to congregate or try to get around where children are. Video games are just an easy access, once you're online, unfortunately.
No, and unfortunately, well, what you have to do then is monitor your kids or just not let them play that game at all. And then the only solution for people like that, as JD Delay, a YouTuber, would say, is send them to the wood chipper. Feet first.
Yeah, but according to what I'm hearing in Washington, D.C., if the mayor is doing nothing about the pedophiles, if the police department is doing nothing about the pedophiles, then we should just let them do it.
No, you should arrest
No.
Who's saying that? Who are these people?
What you should do is allegedly not get caught and allegedly throw them in the alleged wood chipper.
arrest the mayor.
That might be coming next, and I hope it is. I think a lot of mayors.
Them taking control of DC because one guy got beat up. There's got to be more to that whole thing than what they're letting on.
I agree. But according to the logic of the government getting involved with the military, we shouldn't do anything because we don't want the military, I do air quotes, military to get involved in cleaning up the mess. That's overstepping the bounds. Except under home rule, they have the authority to do that. I'm not saying they're going to do that in other states and cities.
Right. Funny you should mention that. There was a story I heard, I think, on another YouTube short, where they were one of the websites that shows, the Constitution online and has different parts here, there, the other, some archive site or something. There was a large outcry after they were caught deleting parts 8, 9, and 10 under the first article of the Constitution or whatever from the website. And then a bunch of people realized what was going on, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, thanks for catching the glitch," and then it was magically back up. Almost like they were indicating that, yeah, we're going to try to delete parts of the Constitution and do what we want, like deploying troops and taking control of stuff. Or that was the implication I took from what I saw in the short.
Ford, in answer to your question, it's been happening way before the 70s because the Democrats have been in control. They have allowed this to happen.
So DC's never had a Republican anything.
Say again.
Well, I thought DC was all federalized land anyway. It's like the whole separate from it's in the United States, it's the capital, but it's completely separate, if my understanding is correct.
Yes. So what does Congress say about this?
I don't know.
I'm not
You'd
sure.
have to ask them. You'd have to do some research and find out what Congress says about this.
I'm sure it's something like, hey, we deserve another pay raise because we sit around all day and do nothing. And we all fix shit. Matter of fact, I think besides term limits, I think for Congress, not only should there be term limits, it should only be part-time work. They shouldn't get paid for it at all, or if they do, very little. Take it back to what it used to be, part-time work. Hold on a second.
I still say let them run them up. I mean, if you want to let your city of Fort Worth crash and burn because of all the freaking people selling drugs, I say let's just let it happen. Don't get involved. Let them destroy your cities.
Well, that doesn't solve anything, but also their whole plan, if I my assumption, is they're trying to make it force everybody into the 15-minute cities where they can control everything after they force you onto the digital dollars. So then when you don't do what they like, they can just shut your money off.
Yeah, if you're a drug dealer, and you're destroying families. I'm a drug dealer. I'm doing it because I need to make money for my family, but I'm destroying families that I'm selling drugs to, and that's okay. Let it happen. That logic is just that logic is stupid.
Oh, it's completely stupid. 1,000% agree. Looks like I found a parking spot outside the distribution center, so other than closing my doors on the trailer, I will be done for the day, thankfully.
Hey, by the way,
trailer doors, I gotta close them, but
Hey, by the way, if you're a truck driver, thank you. It's a hard job. I appreciate you. You're what?
Well, thank you.
Truck drivers are what? Truck drivers are what keep this country going. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, no, I've been driving truck for 11 years. This October, you're right. It's not easy. The ones who do it long term make it look easy. And like everybody else, we got our good days, we got our bad days. I mean, there's some days I can do a 90-degree blindside back without even trying. There are other days I couldn't pull straight forward in an open parking lot if I tried.
Right, and let me ask you this: is truck driving controlled by the federal government?
It's heavily regulated by the FMCSA, the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration.
So we shouldn't have any regulations for motor carriers.
Yeah.
If the federal government's getting involved, there should be no government.
Yeah.
Just let the truck drivers go willy-nilly and do whatever the hell they want. Kill people on the highway.
To an extent, there needs to be some regulation because people, I'm sure as you're well aware, are here's today's word of the day, unscrupulous. So there has to be some regulation because you do want to maintain a sense of safety. The problem is they're taking it too far. I know this whole deal running through with the EPA. Lee Zeldin made the announcement based on a reporter's question that they're going to repeal all the emission law stuff that they did via the Clean Air Act since 2008 or 09. And they're just eliminating it altogether so that light duty, medium duty, and heavy duty trucks, including semis, want in another 20 some days, whenever it's done, if you wanted to diesel delete your truck for the DEF and other emissions crap they put on there, you can legally then do that once it's fully repealed.
Okay, so can I read this?
Oh, yes. Go ahead, please. I was answering this question. Sorry.
Yes. But were you finished? I mean, I don't want to
Oh
interrupt.
yeah. No, I'm absolutely done with that. I'm gonna while you're reading that, I'm gonna go back here and close these doors before the rain picks back up too much.
Okay. Okay. I looked it up. The U.S. Constitution doesn't explicitly prohibit the military from acting against citizens, but the Posse Comitatus, I hope I'm saying that right, Act of 1878 legally restricts federal armed forces from acting as civilian law enforcement unless Congress authorizes it. The Insurrection Act provides a specific exception, allowing the president to deploy military forces to suppress insurrections or enforce federal law when civilian authorities are overwhelmed. The U.S. also relies on the National Guard, which can be federalized by the president in specific circumstances. So is that what you're going by, or
Is that what I'm going by?
yes?
I'm not going by anything. I'm just trying to make some sense out of this. So if the governor of California is oppressing their people with all kinds of statutes, codes, and making up shit to oppress their people, what are we supposed to do? Let it go.
No, we are supposed to take a stand, and that can be done in many ways. One of them, constitutionally, is to assemble. If the states are assembled, it takes the states. If the states are assembled, then they can take care, each state can take care of what is happening in their state, but also at the same time, the states, once assembled, are able to voice their grievances or request actions done by the federal government also. Am I wrong? I guess there's no answer to that. Okay. Well.
Yeah, I answered, but I was muted. Nobody's going to do that. Nobody's going to assemble. Nobody's going to do anything.
Well, we don't know that. I think that people are working on it. I think that people are working on things that aren't under a assembly. I know a group that has been speaking with our legislators. They're not listed in the assembly, but they are making headway.
Speaking to your legislators, it's like throwing a mud pie against the wall, see if it sticks. Your legislators do not care. Good example would be a fentanyl crisis in Philadelphia. They're just going to let it happen, or the crisis in Fort Worth or Dallas. They're just going to let it happen. They don't care about us, and the people don't care enough to do anything about it. They're just not going to do it.
Matter of fact, I will comment. I know there was, I think, 22 different states right now that are working on trying to force a vote and maybe an amendment for term limits on Congress.
Yeah, good
I
luck
don't know
with
what
that.
I don't know what the current number of that is. I remember hearing something about it. I just haven't had time to look at it lately.
Still acting in the corporation. Link. Yes, sir.
So we don't want the federal government to get involved in anything. Is that what we're hearing?
I can see where there is too much overreach.
I can too. But I can also see where Democrat mayors, the blue cities and the blue states that are run by Democrat mayors, police officers, and prosecutors aren't doing anything.
You know, interesting.
So,
sorry,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just going to comment real quick. Interestingly enough, a good example of some of this, people trying to do stuff but can't most of the time get things done. Illinois, case in point. Most of the state is red. You know, I mean, it leans more conservative. But then you've got the entirety of Chicagoland and all the suburbs who are more liberal and tend to vote Democrat, end up running the whole state, and then you end up with this state of corrupt politicians who, in my personal opinion, are more corrupt. Even some of the criminals are probably like, damn, dude, that's messed up.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, but I was criticized for just calling out Democrats. Somebody said just not too long ago. I agree, it's both sides. But I was criticized for calling out the Democrats, and the Democrat-run cities.
I didn't criticize anyone. If you're referring to me, I didn't criticize anyone. I was just stating a simple point. Just like I've been sitting here and listening. You said yourself that the government is the problem. They've let all this go on, but in the same breath, you say we need more government. How does that even make sense? Like I said earlier, how can you solve the problem with the same logic that got you into that problem?
Our main problem right now is we started as a constitutional republic, and over the last, I don't know, 100-ish years, we'll say, things have started to get a little out of hand, and people say, oh, we're a democracy. Well, that's what they're trying to force so that they can do what they want and enrich themselves and make us suffer for it. But, you know, what was the Franklin quote when he was asked, well, what kind of government do we have? A republic, if you can keep it. And so far, it looks like we're not doing a very good job at keeping it.
Yeah, what in response? If nobody's doing it and somebody in the federal government is willing to make change, I'm all for it.
Change? What does change mean? What does that mean? Change can be for the good or the better. Taking people's rights away just because to make a couple people feel good, that's not change for the better. How does taking away more rights equal change for the better?
How does letting it happen, you know,
if you can't answer the question, I understand. You know, I'm not going to sit here and answer a question with a question. I can do that all night, but we're just going to chase our own tail.
Okay, so what was the question?
I'm done repeating it at this point, you know. I think
All
I've said it enough.
Sean asked if he could answer.
Please, take over.
Yes, I am. Bonnie, please let me know if my phone does the roboting thing, or Ricky will probably remind me, since StreamYard does drain the microphone charging and all that. So, guys, Some of us are in agreement that Washington, D.C. is being reorganized and dissolved, including ceding back land to Virginia, what have you. So when something's being reorganized or just dissolved and done away with, those officials who are there, they're basically just paper cutouts now. They're basically figureheads or puppets. So they're not really calling shots anyway. Now, part of the reason they're not going to be allowed to have any power back is because through nonfeasance or through negligence, and I would say it's criminal negligence, they did not uphold their duties and their oaths. So much like when the U.S. military took over the nation after the South walked out, the military is having to step in and do it again. In this case, it's doing it in Washington, D.C. So yes, it would suck if the martial law that would seem to be on the horizon violates people's rights. But we have to understand the fentanyl issue is a weapon in the war between China and the US. And there have been, you're not going to hear much about it, but there have been people who work for China who have fallen downstairs, to quote a certain guy out of Austin, Texas, that has a radio show. There's been other back and forth stuff. It just doesn't make the airwaves publicly. For the longtime residents of DC, of course, they're going to be shocked. They're not used to it. But when people say, "Well, let them handle it on their own," there's not as many levers in DC as there are in other parts of the country. So with them being under the jurisdiction that they're under, they have less remedy than those of us that are in an area that's basically acknowledged as being part of the United States with access to the different branches of government. And I mean, all 5 of them. In DC, you're essentially stuck under maritime jurisdiction, not to mention a few other quirks that that District of Columbia has. So, yeah,
Sorry for
go
stepping
ahead.
on. No. Sorry
I
for
got more.
stepping on you.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
That's fine. I just wanted to ask a question before I forget. So, if they're going to use fentanyl as an excuse to take over DC federally or whatever and clean it up, air fingers quote, what's to stop them from doing that to other towns? Using the same
Fair question.
excuse.
But DC is not like other towns. Other towns were either, brought together, under a tradition of people just getting together, creating a township, or eventually they became incorporated and became cities of. So District of Columbia is like District Federales in Mexico City or Vatican or the city of London, where the financial district is. They run basically as a city state. They are not like a city like you and I have thoughts of, or a county. So if you notice, have you ever heard that there is no sheriff for DC? There's Capitol Police and there's City Police, but there's no sheriff department, which means there's really no remedy for the people, quote unquote. So I pity for the folks born in DC, kind of in the way like everyone in Puerto Rico is in a territory, and they never seem to quite get the fair end of the bargain because they're a territory.
Yeah.
So that will be on the people of Puerto Rico to push for statehood. And it seems that little territory is split. Now, someone earlier had asked a question regarding if a sheriff's not doing what he's supposed to. There's checks and balances on sheriffs. One way these de facto governments are trying to federalize and get around it, and Ricky probably knows about this one, is they've been merging the coroner's office into the sheriff's department. The coroner used to be a check on the sheriff. Those departments used to be part of the checks and balances against each other. So if you still have a coroner separate from your sheriff, make sure he's separate from the sheriff. And also keep in mind, a medical examiner is not a coroner. So that's a old common law remedy going back to the times of King John, where the coroner is the person who, coronates the next heir to the throne. And Archbishop Langston, involved with King John and with the Pope, didn't want to give King John, the crown because King Richard had died. And so King John got real ticked at him and started messing with Archbishop Langston. So the Pope excommunicated King John. Fast forward, King John begs the Pope, hey, let me back into the church. And so the Pope says, you're going to tax people then because you're going to pay us. So King John goes and taxes everyone heavily. Next thing you know, you have the Magna Carta. So this stuff of these officials screwing around with us has gone back all the way to those times where they had like the city of London back then. King John there's different ways of saying he was at the point of a sword, but quite literally, the barons had locked King John out of the city of London, away from the crown jewels and his finances. So, there's ways to deal with these characters. The fentanyl issue, it's a weapon, and the thing is you got to cut off the enemy's weapon. If the enemy is constantly saying he's throwing rattlesnakes into your backyard, you got to do what you got to do to keep him from throwing all the rattlesnakes in the yard. Now, question is, are you going to grab another neighbor's yard and say, well, I have to secure this yard because they might go over here and throw rattlesnakes in that one too? I get what you're saying. The issue is to get the suppliers dealt with, and that's why all these drug dealing gangs were deemed terrorist organizations. So our black ops are allowed to go in and liquidate them, and I mean that in a business and a militaristic sense. So we know Mexican narcos have been working with the Chinese fentanyl producers. I know also North Korea is a hub for methamphetamine production. So China, basically, they got a hard on for the West because of the opium wars with England. And when Admiral Perry went over there to China, we had the whole Boxer Rebellion thing. Remember, they view things like 100 years, 200 years terms. We're just viewing things in like the space of one generation. They plan out 3 to 5 generations ahead. So this was their attempt to get revenge and reconquer the West. So it's a war, even if there's no bombs or planes flying. They're just doing war by other means, whether it's a financial war, trade war, ripping off intellectual patents, or making our youths all addicts to extremely potent opium derivatives. So we have to cut off the supply. And that northern border, you guys are on point with the northern border because it's so hard to secure. That's where Canada was supposed to step up. And Trudeau, that SOB allowed the Chinese to put a sonar base right off of Puget Sound to track our Navy. So China and Canada are basically in an alliance against us as well. We're in a pincer right now between Canada and Mexico, and
so
we got to go hardcore on this, or we're going to be invaded from north and south.
That's what I've been wondering. I figure you could take 2 divisions for the southern border, maybe we'll say 3 just for good measure, on 3 divisions of troops on either border, seal up the tunnels, liquidate anyone trying to come through said tunnels, and secure the border. Some areas would be harder to do that, obviously, than others. But it's not an impossible task. It just takes someone with the will to if they truly want to stop the stuff coming in. That would be, I think, a good start. No,
the military is already at the border, the southern border.
Well, I thought there was a National Guard, not the actual active duty military.
Same thing that is in DC, National Guard.
Now, I've heard rumors that they're going to be deploying the military to some of the different areas, but go ahead.
Yeah, if I may. Remember that to deploy the military, except for the Marine Corps and the National Guard, hoorah, Marine Corps, you have to have Congress authorize the movement, Navy, Army, and Air Force specifically.
You're absolutely 1,000% correct. Go ahead.
Nope.
Yeah, let the gentleman speak.
Congress stepped out of it, and when they created the NDAA in 2002, they gave up the right. That's why you got presidents that can assassinate people with bombs and drones. You better go read your NDAA, because you know what? These people are the ones creating all these boogeymen, right? Since World War II, China, 45, 46, we bombed them. Right. Syria, 1949. Korea, 50 to 53. China again, 50 to 53. Iran in 53. Guatemala in 54. Tibet, 55 and in the 70s. Indonesia, 1958. Cuba, 1959. Republic of the Congo, 1960 to 63. I can name off 25 more countries if you want me to right now. I mean, this country is out of control, and that's why you have billionaires and multimillionaires running it. They're the ones that's been making all the money off of this.
Yep.
May I?
No, you're absolutely correct. Go ahead.
And you keep saying all this stuff about Democrats. Republicans got problems in their places too. Listen, it doesn't matter if they're Republicans or Democrats. They're politicians. Plain and
Yes.
simple.
And that's what I was saying. My little area is very Republican, and
Right. They're all
still they
involved.
have drugs. And can Indy's question be answered?
If I may,
It's a
Please.
money
I'll be
racket.
happy to touch. I'll be happy to touch that question from Indy in a second. In fact, I mentioned in the comments 1 second. And I wasn't aware the 2002 NDAA was still in effect, but that ties into something else I'll address when Congress walked out.
Every 2 years,
Congress,
the president's got to
Uh-huh.
sign it. Every 2 years, whatever president's in's got to sign it.
Yes.
And they keep signing it.
Yes, they
Correct.
do.
Now, if I may, that Congress that signed that, you can look at it one of two ways. They either abdicated their authority, which means they're not lawfully in office, or, drum roll, they were never lawfully in office to begin with because in 1861, Congress walked out, sine die. And martial law is not how you finish a session of Congress. So Lincoln kind of screwed the pooch. They got,
They're for the show right now. That's
correct.
all
It's
they're
a
for.
ceremonial Congress.
They're there to stand up to you ever go to C-SPAN and watch him, the guy stand up and he'll read his script for the day and there's no one behind him. Yeah, these are the people fighting for me.
Well, actually, they're fighting for their donors. You're completely correct on that on either side of the aisle. Remember, the Democrats and Republicans once used to be the same party. They split into two to get rid of the Whigs.
You
So
know,
there's your.
The Whigs were the Republicans in the beginning, but
The Democrat Republicans absorbed.
Take it from a
Yeah.
person that stands in the middle and is watching both sides of this. Think like a child. Erase everything out of your mind that's been plugged into it and start from a child and watch both sides. I live around Democrats. I live around Republicans. Both of them want the same damn thing. They don't want none of this shit. It's only the people that are preaching this shit to you guys on the AI because of you. It knows your little clicks, so it's going to send you everything that you hit a like to or something, or if you opened it. This AI is taking over. Can't you see what it's doing? It's dividing everybody.
Well, that's kind of the opposite of what I want done. I want everyone to assemble lawfully and put these folks. When I say on notice, notice is a portion of it. Indy was asking this question about notice. Now, there's a fellow me and Ricky know up in Alaska. He advised you don't just put a person on notice. You combine it with a what's called a notice of liability when you give them a cease and desist notice. Once they've sat on that for a long enough time to rebut and they haven't rebutted, you then create an affidavit that they were given that notice of liability with that cease and desist. And the kicker is if you don't respond to a notice of liability, it means you agree to be liable for whatever penalties are incurred for the actions you were told to cease and desist. That's
If
the
this
kicker,
system
folks.
really worked, though, if this system really worked, we wouldn't be talking about this shit.
It worked for a while. Right. You just got to have the guy with the gumption to do it and to know how to do the whole due process from start to finish. I would recommend look up Carl Miller's YouTube channel or what's left of Carl Miller's stuff online, or maybe go look up some old Red Beckman when we use the grand juries. The Montana Freeman is not a far distant memory. That was only 30, 40 years ago. You know, there were people who put it on the line, and at least, and more recently, the Bundy Ranch standoff in Nevada. Not the screw up in Oregon, but the one in Nevada. They got Sheriff Lombardo there, and he got the BLM and Barack Obama's people to go back to DC and give the Bundys back their cattle. If you don't know how to do this stuff, folks, you're not going to have the wins. It's just our wins are not publicized, you know. And then the issue in Oregon, what was Lavoy Finicum going to do? He was going to go get the local sheriff to mediate the situation at that wildlife refuge because it was getting out of hand. So, you know, that's the thing.
You go arrest that guy that killed that woman at Ruby Ridge that was holding her baby in her arms. Or wait a minute, maybe you ought to go arrest all them agents that were did Waco and killed what 12 children, 8 of them underneath the age of 2, when they could have had them 2 hours earlier. Nope, you had to do it in front of the press, and that was a Republican, right?
Here's the catch. Waco was under Clinton.
Was it?
Yeah, that was a trilogy under Clinton. You had Waco as basically the inspiration for
yeah,
Oklahoma
what was
City,
her
and
name?
before Waco was
Who was
Ruby
that?
Ridge.
What was that woman's name?
Janet Reno.
Yeah, there you go. I'll never
Yeah, Janet
forget
Reno.
her.
He, she.
Yeah.
You know,
You never know nowadays, but I mean, what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter who's in office. We're not getting anywhere, and the only way I see it is to take it back to the state level and build it back.
Hey, imagine that. You're correct. Assemble your state, then your state populates the counties. Once you hit 75% of your counties at 13 people per county, you actually have a state that's assembled and has lawful standing. And now
Well,
you can
you got to
actually
start at
issue
the county
requisitions.
level to get it to the state level.
And if you do
It ain't
the
going to start
counties
at the
first, there's
state,
no
because
infrastructure.
I think a lot of the state governors are in on it, and so are, like you said, these politicians in different cities that play their part, but they probably got paid $250,000 under the table to do it, or $500,000 or whatever. They were promised something, right?
Oh, I'm sure they were.
Agreed.
I mean, you're talking politicians. You're talking to some of the most corrupt people in the world.
Follow the money.
Yeah, that's all you got to do. I mean, it's like, okay, you know, I mentioned it earlier in the chat. What about the Biden laptop? You know, no one even talks about that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a sealed case right there. And, you know, you could go on and on about both sides of this forever.
Well, that's like
and it's not going to ever get anybody any place, except I'll tell you what, it's an ideology that's running the world right now and wanting to take it over. That's all I can say. And people
like
are
one thing
selling out to it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of sellouts, case in point, you had a guy like Dan Bongino out there doing a radio show, having what appears to be a good position, wanting to stand up for the American people, and then he goes and gets put in charge of the FBI, essentially, or high up in there, and then turns around and straight up lies to the American people like we're all dumb enough to believe the bullshit coming out of his mouth. And when I heard him saying that bullshit, I'm like, you know what? The tiny little bit of respect I had for him being reasonably honest and straightforward, all of that went out the window when he started spewing that bullshit right out of his mouth, saying, "Oh, he didn't Epstein didn't off himself, and there's nothing to see here." Bullshit.
Right. I mean,
you could tell he was lying just by the look on his face and his body language.
We're screwed. I mean, what can I say? You know,
well,
people want to
maybe
paint this
pray to
with
God
a
that
nice
an
lining. You
pray
got
to God that an
military on
EMP
the
comes by and
streets.
hits the reset button. Maybe
there's no reset. The world's going to go through what the world's going to go through, and it ain't going to be nice.
No, unfortunately, I've read the book, and no, it's not. It's gonna be hell on earth, unfortunately.
I mean, you guys are talking trade wars and China stealing this. Where's the proof of that? There's no proof these people stole anything. The one thing I do know is the Chinese, when it comes down to a lot of things, especially in the new field of electric vehicles and stuff like that, they're way ahead of the United States. I mean, their technology is better when it comes for the consumer. That's why.
And how they get, how they get the tech? How'd they get the tech?
They stole it. They stole it from us, probably.
I don't know where they got the tech. It don't matter. It's not copyrighted. Otherwise, the shit would have copyright. All my drones come from China. There's nothing wrong with them. We could always fly them until we can't buy anymore now because this big old trade war. Why am I going to spend $12,000 for a drone I can get for $5,000? That's even better. Why is the government forcing me to do that for me to make money?
Because if it's made locally, which is the next step, you know, you put the tariffs on, you don't want to buy, you know, imports. You want to you want to buy locally, and then ideally it'll be no middleman. You'll get it for cheaper. The reason China is able to sell for so cheap, besides getting the intellectual properties with no residuals to the designers, is that we don't retaliate because they own most of our debt. That's the reason they
They've
could
been
mess with
selling
our
your debt
economy.
off. They're going to the
Yes,
bricks. They've almost got all their money out of here. That's why you hear Trump threatening people that if they drop the U.S. dollar, they're going to get sanctioned. They're going to get tariffed. They're going to get bombed. This is the end of the evil system that y'all used to call the petrodollar. You know, the ones where the Saudis that walk around in robes and or in bed sheets, you know, with gold floors.
yeah. Speaking of gold, go look what China is doing with gold and silver, folks. Between them buying it up and us buying it up, we've driven the price from $32 in 2024. It's up to $38 now for silver, and that's per ounce. Now, that's what is it, 6-to-1 ratio for silver to gold? So you're looking at
Yeah, but
gold.
that's because they're
Let's look at the
suppressing the
price of
gold.
gold. You'll see what I mean.
No, I do,
They're
but they've been what
So
you're not accounting for is they've been suppressing the gold and silver market for years. Otherwise, with the amount of inflation and debt we have, that crap would be thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars an ounce.
it's the thing about gold and silver that no one talks about. Both of them are strategic metals.
Correct. Also for
Yeah.
use in the computer system and
Cell
weapon
phones,
systems.
computers, all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Their AI can't run without it.
Evidently.
But let me bring it back here for a second, though. Governor Dunleavy for Alaska's General Jural Assembly has completed 4 of their 7 directives up there. So that's some pretty ballsy stuff as far as proof of concept. The thing is, it's Alaska, so hey, go them. But you don't even need 3% of the country. Again, you start out with enough people to form your grand jury, 25 plus 2 alternates and your 4 investigators at 31, and then populate your counties at 13 people per county. You could do that literally with 3 counties, get yourself up and going, and then just keep populating it. 3/4 of the counties you had when your state joined the union. And states like Delaware, Massachusetts, Hawaii, they only have a few counties. They could basically get themselves settled into de jure status, and whenever there is a grand jury de jure, the de facto must yield. Corpus Juris Secundum, volume 38A. So, I'm rattling this stuff off to you guys, but this actually is stuff, if you know how to do it correctly, you can stand up the people and say, hey, sheriff, or hey, governor, or hey, lieutenant governor, or hey, secretary of state, this is how it's going to be. We, the people, are directing you to do this. You don't have to get in the weeds or anything, but the other thing is the grand jury element allows you to do audits, and it's not just auditing with your sheriff or a criminal case. You can audit the government from everything from the vault in a jail cell to what the contracts were on a bidding for a road and so on, and they have to comply with those audits. So
With a
even if they
FOIA
don't
request,
publish it, or Public
you're
Records
talking
Act
like
under
a
the Sunshine Law.
freedom of
Bear with me
information.
for Bear with me for a second before we go to that means. Even if they don't want to comply with your request, you can still publish in the legal sections of newspapers, and that will stand as fact down the road for other people to use it against them. So there's a lot of options you have, and I'm not even through the list of options, but yeah, FOIA and PRAs, those can be done. And yeah, I get they sometimes redact this stuff to hell, but what they redact usually gives you insight on the next thing to request because you figure out what they're trying to cover up. So it's not just a one-step process. If the people aren't going to be willing to actually put in the left calls it sweat equity, but whatever you want to call it, the effort, the grind, you're not willing to do it, you're going to get the results you get. Bonnie knows I was intending to come up here on Monday and hang out with you guys for a while. And between Friday and then Saturday, I had an assembly meeting between work, and then I had Saturday work. I was bushed. I couldn't wake. Basically, I went hardcore over the weekend and push. But you know what? You got to do that. You got to be willing to work. You got to be willing to turn off the sports, turn off the video games, turn off the Netflix, and go and interact with your community. Even if you don't want to form an assembly, at least show up at City Hall and pay attention to what they're doing to your own town, for God's sake. Don't keep yourself in this state of, oh my gosh, there's nothing we can do. there's plenty you can do. Even if you want to say, hey, I don't think de jure stuff works, I want to run into the de facto office. Cool. You'll be someone there who at least will disrupt your system. You know, maybe when you get sworn in, you ask them to swear you in on the original Constitution instead of that rag they're trying to use currently, which has been the 5th incarnation of the Constitution. Oh, did I say that out loud? Yeah, I did. Watch them scratch their heads and panic if you ask for the original Constitution for the United States. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and yield. If you need me, I'll be here.
Everybody should be involved in their local. I mean,
Yes.
you should be at every town meeting.
And I appreciate all of y'all being up here and saying what you have to say. And I don't mean to argue. We're all looking for solutions and remedies to everything that's going on. We can see that it's a monopoly of things that are being thrown at us all at once. And we're just trying to figure out how to wade through it. Someone said a while ago, for our children and grandchildren, that is the purpose. A lot of us are not going to be here 10, 20 years from now. We want to make sure that this country is still standing. I think that we all have that same goal.
I hope it is.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
Yeah, no, I'm with
Not
you
at
on
the
that
level
one.
that you need it.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I think you're right on that. I hope that changes and it could be fixed. But like I said, I've read the book. I know what's coming. Unfortunately, it doesn't look good for us.
Excuse me. So if we know what's coming, how can we not change it? If it's all been laid out to us in all the books, in all the, you go to the government website, it'll tell you exactly what is going on. I just told y'all not very long ago the website to go to in the government where page 93 tells you everything that they have planned out. So knowing that, we the people knowing that should be making sure that that doesn't happen. No, we're going to put a wrench in their plan and stop it. Well, somehow, and the only remedy that I can see that is actually feasible without doing other things that could be bad is through the Constitution assembling as it says. And I know that a lot of people think that the Constitution has been stomped on and torn up and whatever, but no, we are a republic. We have been a republic since its creation, and we need to stay that way.
We do, and we need to work on trying to fix the problem. I agree. However, unfortunately, like you said, the book I'm referring to is the Bible, and unfortunately, when God says something is going to happen, it tends to happen exactly as He said it would. So while we still need to do our parts, step up, and try to change things for the better as much as we can, my personal belief, the way I see it is, unfortunately, God's already said this is how everything's going to play out. It's going to play out exactly that way. And He's got 1,000% accuracy for His track record. So I'm still going to
change
do
His
my
word,
part.
are you? You ain't going to change His word, are you, meat puppet?
No. I don't play with that stuff. But I'm going to go to bed here soon. I'll linger down in the YouTube chat. It was good to chat with everybody. Good to hear from you at the end of the world.
Sunny side up, bud.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm parked for the night, so I'm good.
All right.
I'll lurk in the chat and we'll holler at y'all on the next one.
Have a good one.
I mean,
And
sometimes you just feel like, remember Wattlife said, you never can understand until you walk in a man's shoes. All I've ever tried to do is tell people better know where your food is. I'm hated for that because it's not what you're going to get in the store. And I'm hated for that. But, here's the thing. I feel like Lot trying to tell you all to get out of Sodom and Gomorrah just for doing something simple. Just get up and do something. Because, we got a problem with the food in this country right now. And that'll lead to health problems and whatever else. I mean, diseases, that's where it's going to lead to. You can see it happening. I mean, we've had 160 food processing plants closed down. You're seeing businesses closed down left and right all around you. These people, our government is going broke. And right now, you heard them. They put in Dodge. They're getting rid of government waste. Well, all I got to say is you better hope you're not government waste. That's all I'm saying.
They think of us.
May I?
That's the way they think of us, but
that's right. The useless eaters, right? That's what they call us.
Yes. Yes, Sean.
People that, ain't producing for them. And there's 100 and some million people in this country that rely totally on the government. You want to see 100 and some million of your countrymen just, all right, throw them out the door, grab a shovel. We need to bury the next one. Is that what you're all are willing to do? That's where we're headed.
If I may?
You can sit here and talk about pieces of paper all you want. Jump up and down. But you better see reality. Yes, our foods have been poisoned to keep us medically unfit to use their doctors and all. It's all government controlled. Remember? You had to get it during the infection time that they had going. You had to go put stuff in your body, or you couldn't go see the doctor, right? That was the policies that the government made. I mean,
If I may, Bonnie?
Just being honest. I don't mean to pee on your parade or anything. I'm just being honest with you.
I understand, George.
Yes. I care about every single one of you. Otherwise, I wouldn't even talk to you.
I know you do.
I don't hate nobody. But when God puts something on your heart, you better tell people, hey, you better learn where your food comes from. If you hate me for that, that's fine. I mean, you can hate me for that. I'm not the one here to fluff your pillow and tuck you in. I'm here to tell you reality. And all you got to go do is start researching about food and food processing plants. Learn how farmers are turning their crops, turning them over because of the droughts or they got too much rain. Or, I mean, come harvest time, you might have a lot of one thing, but you ain't going to have a lot of other things. And most of our food comes not even from this country. So you're going to pay a little more no matter what you buy. I just care about you guys. Because food is something you got to have to survive on this planet. And we're not a species that knows how to take care of ourselves anymore. We used to be able to take care of our own health. The doctor used to come to your house. I was alive back in them days. Now you go sit in a waiting room, then you go in the room and you sit there. It's like another waiting room. I mean, it's just insane, and we pay for that. We're of all the I mean, medical wise, we're the worst of all industrial nations when it comes to health. We're like 47th in education. There's nothing number one except debt that the United States can be proud of, I guess. I mean, let's be real, people. Let's break out of this shell. Because once we break out of this shell and we can get enough people breaking out of our shells, then people start stomping their feet and saying that's enough of this shit. But if y'all want to say, well, this piece of paper, that's all we need, that's not going to do it.
Hey,
It'd
George.
be nice. It'd be nice if it was that fucking easy. Excuse my language.
I understand.
May I,
And
Bonnie?
and Sean's been asking to speak. Yes.
Yeah, Wayne Sanford made a great point that the Constitution and Bible go hand in hand. It's literally quoting a friend of mine in NorCal and also one John Quaid, who used to be up in Palmdale and teach different ministries and churches about the Constitution and the Bible and the common law. But what I want to address is that we have a great point here about food. Okay, I know where my eggs come from because somebody that I assemble with, they have a farm. You know, basically they built in their yard by scratch. They created a self-contained system where the chicken eggs, you know, those chickens are fed by the larvas and things that come from the goats that they have and so on. You know, the fly larva feed the chickens lay the eggs, you know, and they got more eggs than they can self-produce or know what to do with. And that's the thing, where these stores and these suppliers are not going to bring food into our country anymore. We have to individually, just like in the days of the founders, you go out, you get your little piece of property, whatever it is, and you start homesteading and raising yourself, your own stuff yourself. And if the state says you can't do it, you find creative ways to get around them, or you move to a state that supports you being a homesteader, and then you go into business for yourself. The issue is the Americans, as a people, we also have a large amount of us who do not know how to be entrepreneurs or to be self-sufficient, or let alone to be productive to where we can sell off whatever excess we produce of whatever product it is. So I don't look at it so much as it's not going to happen. I look at it as we just have to get American people educated back into self-governance, which includes self-sustaining farming and being responsible for what you have. Now, in the terms of medical stuff, I've had to be my own doctor a few times as I've traveled up and down the road. For the people who know what I have done in my, my previous lifetimes. Haha. I've carried first aid bags. I've had my own freaking eyebrow severed by the ringlet on a boot hanging in front of my right eye. I had to put my eyebrow back in place and patch that up. I didn't go to a hospital for that. I kept a bandage around my eye for a few weeks and kept it compressed. And yeah, you could tell I had my eyebrow ripped open, but no gangrene set in, nothing like that. So, fact of the matter is, we as a people, we are the ones that are made in the image of our creator. I'm not saying we're equal to him, but man, we're pretty darn good. We got to quit being so pessimistic about ourselves just because we have a bad situation. When there's bad situations, the human race rises to the occasion. That's one thing about us. As we're worse than cockroaches. We refuse to die, and some of us, like me, are just too stupid to die. So,
Well, being self-sustainable is good and everything, and I'd like to see people start making a move that way. I've been wanting that for years, but I haven't seen it happen. Because here's the thing, you just don't learn overnight. It takes
it's one of the biggest trends in real estate.
I've been at this for 35 years. It takes years.
I'd say, for example, for a guy who started out recently, and he's controversial, but check out Owen Benjamin. Within the space of less than a decade, he went from being a conservative media character to now all he ever does is he posts about how happy he is on his farm, and he's got wife and kids and so on. So he's living the dream. He put away his little nugget of money, he went and bought some land, and he's doing it. And a lot of people I run into on social media, maybe not on this panel tonight, but elsewhere, they either have inherited land from their parents, or they've gone out and bought it, or they're buying their first piece of land, and they're all basically doing what they need to be able to homestead. And that's a key thing, folks. You got to homestead somewhere, but once you have your homestead, you don't want to be fleeing, because if you flee, you're basically a refugee. And that's what they've been trying for the longest time, is to make this a nation of pilgrims and refugees. And I don't mean that in terms of the pilgrims from England. I mean, the idea that you're always leaving. Well, if you're a
Homeless.
refugee or a pilgrim, you don't have rights on the land that you rent at the time. You're at the whim of wherever you move to. So
call it
get yourself into homesteading. Well, yeah, that too. And they're
Yeah.
trying to make it impossible to have homes. I'm an hour east of LA, guys. I've seen, how bad the Pacific Palisades situation is and all this other stuff. I see these sheriffs in different counties dump, homeless from other counties around. They play musical chairs out here. And, California was the golden state. I mean, we were the state that got Nixon and Reagan, to the top of the country as far as the White House goes. Where did all the conservatives go? Oh, gee, they all fled east. And so those of us that are here and that are stubborn, we're not going to flee, and we are working on turning it around. If you actually get into the numbers, unfortunately, the numbers come from the Dominion machines, but if you get into the numbers, we are a red state except for LA, Silicon Valley, San Francisco, and a few tinier nuggets that aren't worth talking about, like this one area in San Diego that's pink. If you know, you know. Point being, the rest of us, from the Inland Empire to the Imperial Valley to Fresno, freaking NorCal, dude, like Shasta County, for example, they did everything by the book. They got rid of those Dominion machines and got themselves a Republican city council finally. So it's doable.
That's scary how you say that we're a red state. You guys just divide people, and I don't know why you do that. You got both in that state, man. Quit saying that we're a red state, we're a blue state, we're a green state, we're a yellow state. That's division. You might not understand what I'm trying to say, but that's division.
It's the Hegelian dialect.
You're trying to win people's hearts. You started off by telling them they're no good because they're the other side.
I've never said being blue.
I mean, that's not how you create. That's not how you bond and come together, though. You guys.
I have a question.
That red shit, green shit, red Republican, Democrat. That all you do is divide yourselves.
How else would you define the difference?
Why don't we be Americans? Why don't we just be Americans? Forget the red and the blue that the politicians make you go vote for a donkey or an elephant every 4 years or every 2 years. I mean, with the division, that's how we start.
Well, what about the Americans? What about the Americans that are anti-America?
I don't know any of them. I don't know any of them that are anti-American.
I do.
To tell you the truth. The only ones that I know are the ones that come on different social medias or TV and tell you that they're there. I've never seen one. I've never met one.
Do you live in the United States?
Yeah, I live in the United States.
Okay, so what about Gerald Polis, the governor of Colorado?
Here we go to
what
politicians again. We're right back to politicians.
What I'm defining is, I'm defining anti-American people, anti-people. I would give everything if I could have people come together. But the people are divided, and we're not dividing.
You're not going to do that by starting a comment by going, I come from a red state or I'm a Republican. I don't ever go ask anybody what religion they are, what political party they are, or any of that when I go up and say hi to somebody and meet them for the first time. I don't ask them any of that shit.
I don't have to. I don't either. I don't have to because the libtards always show up. There you are. There's the dumbass. There's an anti-American.
See, right there, you're calling them names, and you shouldn't do that.
Well, if they're a dumbass, they're a dumbass. I mean, bottom line.
What? I stand in the middle, and I see dumbasses on both sides.
But wait, you're identifying people as dumbass. You just told me not to do that.
That's right. But you want to keep it up, and I'm telling you, I stand in the middle, and I see dumbasses on both sides.
Yeah, but you're calling them dumbass. That's
but I'm putting you all in the same damn boat.
Your logic is flawed because that's identifying them like a red state or a blue state. That's identifying.
I'm calling the ones that ain't in the bowl with me right now the dumbasses. Hold on.
Calling them what?
What I'm saying is, if you start your conversation, you don't care what people are. You're there to win their hearts. And the only way you win your people's hearts is with love. You don't do it with what religion are you, or what political party are you, or you call them names. You don't
Okay,
start.
so
You don't. That's not how we. That's not how we fix the problem. What are you going to do? You just want to shoot what 157 million of them because there's that many of them? No, you don't want to do that. You want to win their hearts.
You're all human.
Oops.
Right.
Okay, so I agree with the all human thing, but what is your solution to winning their hearts? Like the anti-American.
Who's anti-American except the people that you're trying to tell me that I've never met? You're just like the politicians trying to create another boogeyman.
No, I'm stating facts.
No, you're not.
I'm stating facts. Yeah.
There's 335 million people in this country. Because you see 10 people that are off their medication for the fucking day, don't mean everybody's that way.
Well, how about the governors of the
there we go, back to
states?
politicians.
Let me finish. All right, I yield.
You win,
but May I?
I won't torment you anymore.
You don't have to.
But if you don't start this conversation and try to break through all this ice with people, and quit calling them names or trying to define them because of their beliefs. Because I tell you what, I live around all of them, and we get along great here, both Democrat and Republican. None of us want to see guys in a parade with their balls hanging out, and none of that. We don't want to see that, and that goes for both sides. What I'm saying is, if you're gonna have a starting point, you better start it by not coming out and calling them Democrats or Trumpers or whatever the hell you want people to want to call each other. I mean, this is stupid. Being an American, that's what you were supposed to be. And just start there. And go up and hug that person that you feel that's got that problem instead of, hey, you dumbass. You know?
So go up and hug the person that just stabbed you in the back. Is that what you're saying?
Who stabbed you in the back? Why ain't you in the hospital?
Are you talking literally?
I'm talking this, if you love somebody and you give to somebody and they turn on you, or you still love them, but you classify them as not part of me, not part of my world. I always classify them as dumbasses. And I yield to this conversation. It's not going anywhere.
I know, because what I'm trying to say is you got to create love first. That's what I'm trying to say to you, and quit using and dividing people. That's all. That's the greatest starting place for a country to heal. If you like I said, all this division has started with the politicians. It doesn't matter in what state, what federal government. It always starts there. It's not with the people. We didn't have this problem.
Wait, you're classifying people as politicians. That's going against what you're saying.
No, I'm not. A politician's a politician. That's a career.
So, okay. So
them are the ones that are leading the country.
A politician is a politician. Let me finish. A politician is a politician, and a liberal is a liberal. What's the difference? You're still defining a group of people. Politicians, I group them as politicians also, and liberals and dumbasses.
Well, I look at it this way: it's a divide and conquer way to take over a country, and it's been done before. If you understand history, divide and conquer has been around for a long time, and that's where you have both sides playing against each other, playing their roles to divide the country, to conquer it. That's just plain and simple. But to be able to get away from all that divide, you got to start with a hug and not calling them something. That's all I'm saying.
May I?
If you want to start bringing this country together, because I mean, what do you want to do, dude? Kill 350 million of your fellow Americans because they think different than you do? That ain't what we
Point
want
of
to do.
order. Point of order. I hear a legitimate may I on the floor, if I may.
I'm just trying to bring up, a simple thing of, true love, not this fake love.
How many times does the Bible mention love?
Many.
Yeah.
Just like people are talking about the homeless, and what I said last night, Jesus was homeless.
Yes, he was.
And not
Sean, I heard you loud and clear, by the way. So, how many times does the Bible mention demons? Aren't they a classification of something?
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
think it's
understand the
many
question.
times that they mention demons, actually. I'm looking.
I don't know what the question is.
Principalities, powers, and rulers of darkness.
And governors of this world.
Yeah,
Well,
Sean,
that's
go
like
ahead.
They censor that out in King James, because if you do not have an environment conducive to the Bible to be taught and thus educate the people properly, the people will turn out to be doing some of the things they've been doing. Nowhere have I said the assembly is partisan. I have my preferences, but nowhere is it said it's partisan. We the people are we the people, not we the party or we the personalities. The trick at hand, though, is part of America's standard education until the late 1800s was the Bible was in school. And a certain movement removed it, and unfortunately, a certain party loves to embrace that secularism. And while one party loves to pander for cheap votes and the other party loves to pander for cheap labor, the fact of the matter is, by removing that Bible and also the founding documents out of education, people don't know what they're doing and why the politicians are getting away from things. Then they breach their word to the Constitution. They are breaching a contract. They are in jeopardy once you've done that. So it's not
Here's a
a
good
very
one
hard
for you.
issue to deal with.
Hey, Sean, here's a good one for you. How do we define who people are? Where they're born, right? If they're born in Italy, they're, Italian or, Portuguese in Portugal.
That's a
American because
nationality.
you're born. That's how we classify who people are, right?
Man and woman are people. Then a nationality or people from a region, if you're going with that, such as you're saying ethnicity.
A culture.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that's just how we identify people, as the cultures that they come from, right?
Yes.
Where was Jesus born?
Bethlehem.
What country was that in?
Well, that's where.
Want to know how good they are? We almost got that country erased, don't they?
Yeah.
It was Judea.
That it was Palestine.
People forget.
He was born in Bethlehem, Palestine.
Yeah, that's what the Romans named it. But Judea, remember, Israel and Judah basically team up and they split several times through their history. So it's a very
now you're talking something totally different. That is totally different. When you start putting the word Israel, that was never a country until 1948.
As a nation state, you're correct.
And they pretty much wiped out all the Palestinians, huh? That was in Gaza. All them brothers, Christian brothers and sisters that, got USA bombs.
I was just speaking about
written on them.
Yeah.
All the money.
I was just speaking about this on Chase Geiser's show Sunday before last. So yeah, I'm quite aware of that.
Better hope Jesus wasn't a Palestinian, is all I'm saying.
No.
Otherwise, we're getting real close to that 144,000.
Well, they already killed their practice heifer, so I'm just saying. Yeah. But did the Bible say they would be GMO heifers? Because that's what they did, is they genetically engineered them. So
And that's
is man,
What was that? Wow.
can mankind force God's hand is the question. And that's what the Sabbatean Frankists believe, who eventually infiltrated the Rothschilds and yada yada. Point is, they believe to commit sin so atrocious, God has to intervene. Well, if one element of God is mankind doing something to correct a problem, maybe mankind has to intervene on behalf of God sometimes, such as stopping the situation in Gaza or in Ukraine or elsewhere. So, pretty heavy weight when you want to get deep on it.
And
yeah, Caroline Country says it wasn't a mock. I
Heavy
would
is the
agree
head that carries the crown.
that's the
Mhm.
issue I have with it. They were bred in Texas, and so you can keep breeding, crossbreeding, doing whatever you have to do to make the heifer that they want. And I see a lot of manipulation of the Bible. And so I think that's where these times take a lot of discernment, because there is a lot of things that are being played out by man to make us believe these are end times, but at the same time, could they be?
Well, I guess we should act like every day is the end time, right? Because who knows if you can make a great mark tomorrow.
Yes, and that is, it can happen in the blink of an eye. And so we have to treat each other with love and respect and understanding to get through this. The more we divide, the more problems that there are going to be.
It's
We
like
have
evil's growing.
to get-
The farther we get divided, evil seems to be growing, don't it?
Yes.
You ever guys ever hear what's called the Jezebel spirit?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's another form of it. It's called the spirit of contention, where everyone is divided and arguing. Another name for that would be Discord. No pun on the social media platform. So that feeds into the point. But there are people who get off on that, and there are people who, as you've pointed out, the politicians, yes, they gain power from that. Now, are there people who genuinely, though, believe in these atrocious policies? I see them in California. They are real people, yes. They surrounded my sheriff during the BLM time period, and he took a knee. And I'm like, man, this really sucks, because I don't know if he's going to run against Newsom now. Do I really want to vote for this guy or this other guy who's running? Because it showed when there was a crisis, did he have, integrity and character and stand up to the mob, or did he, like Pilate, conform to the mob? So that's, when I talk about sheriffs, folks, that's why I quickly said, I better look up what a counter to a sheriff is. And I found out about the coroner and a few other measures that are in place in our country. Ricky has told you guys, I know Bonnie's heard it, where they got their sheriff, I think he was a dog catcher, just to make a point that they were sick of the previous sheriff. So there's, yeah, there you hear about them electing a dog catcher sheriff out here in California. There's a cat that is the mayor. So,
That
there
makes
is
sense
ways to
with the word coroner, coronation.
We don't have a
Yep.
coroner.
Yeah, that you should look that up and see about getting them restored, because medical examiners have been notorious for, kind of going with whatever the trend is. The whole COVID cover up. Hopefully that doesn't get our channel struck, but medical examiners are a little bit more tied to big pharma and that sort of thing. Coroners still have to take an oath and still have some ties to common law. That's basically, it's a big deal with them. I yield.
So RJP is the one that comes to pronounce. And so he's a judge. So has he been sworn in like a coroner would be?
Depends on what his oath is. And that's the thing with the judges, Bonnie, you're aware, there were people who went after judges, and Ricky's well aware of that. And that's because they got some very bad advice. And then, you find out later that there are other federal agents that are allowed to remove judges if the judges are out of line. Well, most people don't even know to go and say, well, who is the check and balance on a corrupt judge? And we just had what was it? I was on a War Room earlier today as one of the callers, and during the call-in segments, they brought up there's this judge who was literally he just got outed, and it looks like they're going to get him telling different women in the community, they would lose their children if they didn't sleep with him, or they would, have this issue. He would vote against them on this issue if they didn't give him this favor or that. So, it is possible to get these people exposed and outed and removed. It's just people have to grind and put in the work. And there's a lot of interest in keeping some of these people in place. So you got to expect there's going to be pushback. So that, no one promises a rose garden, but there are paths to get through that rose garden when you want to find that one, thing in the middle of the garden, whatever it is you're looking for, and sometimes if you're looking for trouble, you're going to find it. And if you're looking for peace, you're going to find it, and my way of looking at it is I wanted to read my Bible in peace, and they had this thing called COVID, and I wanted to wrestle in peace, and COVID killed that as far as I'm concerned. Lest anyone forget, for a time period, they had arenas full of television screens, which just shows you how compliant people can be.
Yeah.
So when the wrestlers can wrestle without a mask on, oh, cool, they can get sick. I mean, for those who didn't know, Bray Wyatt, when he passed on, oh yeah, WWE mandated the COVID shot on its wrestlers.
How weird was it watching wrestling and there was no audience? It was just a bunch of random people's faces on screen.
Well, it was especially funny when they put Chris Benoit up on one of the television screens. I was like epic trolling, but on the flip side of it, it's like that told me WWE, everyone in their company from top to bottom was willing to. Of course,
Sean,
but when you're
starting to
sorry about that, Bonnie.
That's okay.
Let me
I
pull
just
that
want
out. Any better?
I think so.
Or still okay. Well, anyway, when there's whether you're a semi-pro or full-time pro, when your fraternity, if you want to call it that, they're all bending the knee, and you're like, I've been talking to you guys in this locker room, as well as got to switch the knee or masked their face or took the shot, and the ones that stood up for themselves. And imagine that, even the homeless that I had to kick out of different places, they never dropped from COVID, and they're homeless. They got no health care.
Yes, and they're perfectly fine.
Yeah. In fact, it seems we grew in homeless, losing them. Anyway, it looks like I'm roboting it when it's dead, so I'll yield and charge up the battery a little better.
Okay. Oof.
Ricky, I didn't mean to make you mad. I was just trying to make you understand that we got to work with love and not divide. We got to watch our words.
Yeah, you didn't make me mad, but when you're saying that it's bad to classify people as whatever classification there is, that doesn't make any sense, because
they're men and women to me.
They're
men and women and children.
I yield. I yield. I couldn't finish. I yield.
They're men and women. I mean, man and woman, that's the only two. That's the only way I look at it. I don't look at it as any color, any political, any religious. They're men and women and children. That's how I look at it. And puppy dogs.
I agree.
I mean,
we're all human.
I just wish people would use love. I mean, you're out there trying to win people's hearts. The only way you're going to do it is not calling each other names. And that goes for the other side. I tell people on the other side the same thing. I ain't just, trying to be mean to nobody. But you're not going to win people's hearts by calling them different things. I mean, because it's look at the label. The label ain't a great label to have. Yes, there's good and bad in both sides. I
So,
watch both sides, huh?
George, that's where I had a problem with the what was happening at the borders was because they are human and they are, I don't know, okay, I'm sure all of them were not looking for a better home.
No.
I know that there are nefarious people in every aspect of life. There's going to be bad people, there's going to be good people. But the way that it was lumped together, like I saw people with their phones on trains, jumping train to train, trying not to get caught. Some were falling through the cracks. People lost their lives trying to get here.
Yeah.
What?
And here's the thing about it, Bonnie. Most people wouldn't want the jobs them people are coming here to get. They're not coming for the high-end doctor job, nurse job. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be the ones that are building your homes and out in the fields and the farms, and they're not the ones taking the high-end jobs.
I've seen that over and over. There was a video just played where these roofers and this white guy was the one showing the video, and he said, over here it's the white guys and we got all this equipment and this is how long it's taken us to put this roof on, where here's these men from Mexico putting on a roof, but they're doing 2 houses at one time. They're not using any machines, they're not using all the fancy stuff. They work their butts off. I see it all around me.
Yep, they're hard workers.
They will work 3 jobs to have a nicer home or to help support their kids, or their culture is very family oriented.
Yeah, there'll be 10 of them in a 1-bedroom apartment, right? Then they all send their money home.
I have a question.
To the family at home.
Yep, they're family oriented.
I have a question.
What?
So should we open the border and let them all in?
No, we had laws in place before both sides got into it and just let them all in. Like I said, you didn't see politicians jumping up and down, yelling, "Hey, this is going to destroy our country." This was done by both sides. Both sides.
It was, and there were so many things happening at the border. You hear of the rape houses. So many things happening at the border. The cartel controls the border, not the border patrol, not the Mexican army. That's who controls the border.
I have another question.
And didn't they do the same thing in Europe? What got flooded with, it happened around the world. It's an ideology that's trying to take over the world. What can I tell you? Yes. I mean, it's not just, and they're not blue or red over there.
So the problem that happened was the administration at the time was putting out commercials. They were putting out news all over the world that it was okay for everybody to just come in. I understand following the law. I understand the stay in Mexico until you go through the process. I know there's a process, but they were allowed to come in by that government in the way that they did. Now we have another administration that is trying to reverse it, but I do not see it being done in a humane way.
Not just that, Bonnie. What if it was made to happen for they could get the military on the streets? There's another question no one asked. Is it being done? Was it done purposely for this time? Because, like I said, our country's collapsing. They need to get military on the streets before it collapses.
So you're saying you agree with military on the streets?
No, I don't agree with no military on the street. Listen, we can handle it locally. The local people should handle it locally.
Yes.
You don't need military.
I agree.
You don't need military. We never needed them before. We don't need them this time.
No.
What about the places that the police department and the sheriff's department arrest an illegal person in our country for a minor offense, and then they do not hand them over to ICE? What about that?
I didn't see that happen, and I seen where ICE threw a 6-year-old in handcuffs though the other day.
The mayor of LA and the governor of LA just said it like 3 weeks ago that they're not going to assist ICE in giving people over to ICE, which is okay. Well, okay, so your country called California is going to allow people to rape your women and steal from you and whatever. I mean, that doesn't sound right.
Oh, come
I
on.
agree.
No. You're making a boogeyman. You're making a boogeyman.
Oh man, I yield. Out. I yield. I'm not making a boogeyman. I'm stating fact.
I don't see people.
And if you don't see
where
it,
all this crime is that you're talking about is happening. I don't see it.
Okay. Good enough.
Well, I'm just telling you, I don't see it.
Okay.
I don't.
I mean,
Really?
yeah, you hear about it.
Come on, guys. You don't see the crime. You don't hear about.
I see crime.
Let me finish, and then I'm going to leave the chat. I'm going to leave this panel because this is idiocracy.
You're getting mad at
You don't see the crime. You don't hear about illegal aliens coming across the border, getting deported, coming back, raping women, not getting prosecuted because of a liberal. You don't see this. You don't hear about this.
Hey, okay. Let me
Pull
answer
your
question.
asses.
Let me answer your question. How many illegals came into this country?
Millions.
Millions? Okay, but you only hear about 1 or 2 of the bad ones that have done this. Yeah, they need to be trapped. You know what? You're not just helping our country. You're helping the country you want to send these people back to.
You're not getting.
I mean,
my point is. What is my point then?
Your point is we're going to all be raped and murdered.
That's not my point.
Yeah, it is. Because
my point. Let me tell you what my point is. My point is that these prosecutors and judges are letting these people go free. These people that have been here and deported 3 times that are committing murder and rape are not being turned over to ICE. That's my point.
And yes, there's probably been a case or 2 of that, Ricky. You're probably right on that. But you know what? It doesn't cover for the millions that you're talking about, putting guns to their heads and saying you're bad.
I'm not saying putting guns to their heads is bad.
That's what they're doing.
If you resist, I mean, I think you should be knocked the fuck out. Because if you're here illegally, you need to leave and go through the right, proper channels to come here. Bottom line. And if you don't leave, then we're going to have to hunt you down and find you and make you leave by the millions.
I'm saying, yeah, they need to come in legally too, but the politicians are the ones that set the law for them to come in. You're sitting here trying to beat a dead horse, and what I'm saying is,
wait a minute.
you don't treat humans.
You just classified a group of people as politicians, and you
And
said
I will always call what's wrong with this country by their name. They're politicians. How's that? Now you know
so
that.
I classified them as something, and you said you can't classify people. Well, you are 100% correct about the politicians allowing this to happen. The politicians that are anti-America allowed this to happen. They actually made it happen.
I'm telling you, they're all in on it, for they could do this to you.
Let me finish. Please let me finish. Please let me finish. And then I'll say, I yield, and then I shut up. So another politician came in, realized that a group of people are trying to destroy our America, yet he's bad because he's following the law in getting these people out. Right now, there's no place to put them. And I agree, maybe there are some consequences where, there's some humanitarian issues. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I've heard about it, but I really don't know. Bottom line is, that's on the dumbasses that came here illegally. We're going to round you up, and it's not going to be very comfortable, and then we're going to run you through the court system. It's the immigration court system. If you don't qualify, you are out of here. And the majority of the time, if you entered here illegal, you already broke our laws, therefore you don't qualify, and I yield. Let's get rid of them all. Let's get the students.
Well, all I'm saying is, what if they were all involved in it, and they used it? They did it why the people that you're calling the bad people were in, but they were all involved in it because they knew the next one they could get the military on the streets, because for 224 years, this country debt was only $5 trillion. In the last 24 years, we have ballooned 37.5 trillion. So for 224 years, we built this big, beautiful country, roads, buildings, cities, all this stuff. What have you gotten in the last 25 years for 32.5 million or trillion? Nothing. And no immigrant was the one that stole that from you. Your damn politicians did. I'll leave it as that. I love y'all. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you, George. I was looking through email for a video that I was going to share about that. I can't find it. Of course. I have too many things saved. It's a hot discussion. So we just had a huge truck of watermelons delivered to our area, and everyone was buying what they wanted, and then 560 or so were donated to the county food banks.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like a good watermelon.
And those were actually grown at a farm, locally owned, but from past experience, a lot of the workers that help do our local farms and ranchers come from across the border. Always have. And they will do what they can to protect their workers. I see both sides. I understand legally and unlegally. I also see a lot of unlawful activity, not just with border people, but with people who are Americans. And so I'm seeing people arrested and released, even from other countries. You know, if we go by everything that we're seeing, we're going to go mad. I just think that we need to look at our own areas, what is happening there, and see what you can do to participate in what needs to be done in your areas. And yes, I've seen that, Miss Mendersue. A lot of them are deporting themselves because they don't want to go to that Alcatraz where they're being treated horribly.
May I?
They're building another Alcatraz. Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, Bonnie, Ricky, I'm going to paraphrase somebody else because I know, yeah, people are not happy with the idea of troops on the street. But since the people aren't assembled yet, number 46, excuse me, 47, number 46 was a hyphen. Number 47 is going to do what he has to do in the meantime. So we got till 2028 to figure this out, folks. If you don't like what you're seeing, guess what? You could issue guidance that would change that up, but you got to assemble. And it's been done before. Ricky was around for that. So he's a living testament to what has happened when people have a God-fearing mindset and put pen to paper and have their community call for specific actions. So I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. But someone referenced the 365 times in the Bible it says "do not fear" earlier, and that's correct because there are a lot of people trying to imitate things in the Bible. Study Project Bluebeam as an example, or the Voice of God weapons. They're trying to imitate that to make the people panic earlier and gain control. And the gentleman's comment, yeah, the immigration thing gets us closer to having troops on the streets. But so did the BLM riots, so did the Watts riots, so did the Rodney King riots. And back then, they did call the National Guard in for Rodney King and for the Watts riots. So this isn't exactly a new thing. It's just a specific thing. And
yes,
give you another example. They put the vote to the floor, I believe it was this morning, for the Epstein files, and the Democrats actually flipped again and voted against it while the Republicans voted for it. So are they politicians? Yes. But even if you take away that title, they're still people too. They're still accountable for the evil they do. This is good versus evil. And the Lord tells us how to be good. He gave us a whole book, basic instructions before leaving earth. So it's time to face everything and rise and stop getting false information or false evidence appearing real. And Bonnie, Ricky, have a great night. God bless everyone. And you guys in the comments, you're doing great too. So thank you.
Yes, they are.
I yield.
You, Sean. Appreciate it. No, B, I haven't been there. I just saw the testimony from the attorney that went in to represent one of them. He may be lying. I have no idea. And one of the ex-employees' stories were pretty lined up. So I'm going to go ahead and close this one up. Didn't know it would go this way after showing a police video. And really appreciate y'all being here. It just, y'all just remember, everyone is human, no matter where they're from, no matter where they're at. We got to work this out together. Take care of your own areas. There's a little article about that in the Constitution. God bless y'all and have a good night. And
Night,
I'm
everybody.
put the link if anyone wanted to come up for backstage. And I appreciate all of y'all.
Definitely.
Much love and good night.